Brian Clough, and both former Arsenal players as well, will be remembered by Arsenal, I'm sure, at Burnley today, as now we just soak up the atmosphere of the City Ground. Atmospheric as always. This is BBC Radio 5 Live, also available on the BBC Sounds app. Sean Dyche has gone with an unchanged side. He says he learnt a lot from the defeat at Bournemouth last week as we are underway, and he warned his players that this is an opportunity, a test, that there are players who are waiting to take the shirt, and he's benefited, I'm sure, from a full week on the training ground. Hard to think that he's only been in the job for 11 days.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? The turnaround at Nottingham Forest since the start of the season, and already into their third manager. Quite incredible. But yeah, Sean Dyche, his third game, first time he's had a week's run up to a game, to a fixture, to get what he wants into the team, to make sure that his principles, his ideas that he wanted to work on all week, the players have had an opportunity to see that in practice on the pitch. So you might see something a little bit different from Nottingham Forest today. We'll see.
Well, Manchester United, with the away supporters behind them, are playing from right to left. They're attacking the Trent end, for those of you who know the City Ground, as the ball goes back to Sells, away towards our left, and all in blue. He clears it long downfield, and Luke Shaw heads it away, and it's picked up by Douglas Luiz there in the midfield, as Nottingham Forest with Williams on that left. Anderson now takes over. Douglas Luiz will pack the ball back out towards that far side. Manchester United at the minute, everybody's just dropped off behind the ball in those black shirts and shorts. Comes out to this near side. This is Nicola Savona, versatile Italian defender, as Hibs are leading at Livingston by 1-0 in the Scottish Premiership. And in the FA Cup first round, Burton Albion are leading St Albans City by 1-0. St Albans City, who have got an interim manager in Michael Bostwick. You might recall when he was a Stevenage player, helped knock out Newcastle United in 2011. And Cheltenham Town are leading Bradford City by 1-0. And indeed, there is commentary of that game on Sports Extra 3, one of the streams you can find through the BBC Sounds app. And Mbeumo heads it to Sesko, out towards this near side the left, and Dalot, being tracked by Anderson, runs forward, delivers a low cross into the penalty area. Murillo is there and clears as far as Douglas Luiz, who plays the ball back to the Forest penalty area for Williams, and the left back will clear up towards Igor Jesus for Nottingham Forest. Oldham are leading Northampton Town by 1-0 in the FA Cup first round. It's going to be busy with the scores this Saturday afternoon, as Mbeumo on the right with a cutback. Here is Sesko, first time shot, takes a deflection behind. It goes for a corner kick to Manchester United, 0-0.
Yeah, good play from Manchester United. Haven't been shy in going long, looking for Sesko early in the game, trying to win the second balls, but it's well won in the middle of the pitch. That bouncing ball filtered the ball wide, and Mbeumo getting down that right-hand channel, just fired it across, and Sesko dropped back to try and wrap his foot around it. May have been best served if he'd have just left that for the oncoming Bruno Fernandes arriving from the edge of the penalty area, but made a good connection. Nottingham Forest had to block it away. Good start for United, corner kick.
Ipswich Town have taken the lead at Queen's Park Rangers in the Championship. QPR 0, Ipswich 1. Manchester United have the corner, right-hand side. In it comes now, lifted gently and then headed behind by Jesus behind for another corner kick, which eventually has tossed the ball back towards Mbeumo as he places the ball down in the quadrant on that right. Sean Dyche desperately trying to get some instructions across. I think he wants Hudson-Odoi to tuck in a little bit more. Hudson-Odoi seems aware of Cunha's presence, totally unmarked on the edge of the area. In comes the in-swinging corner now. Murillo rises early, and his header goes back towards goal, caught by Sells, launches it long, out towards Ndoi. Tracking back with him is Amad Diallo, and he goes all the way back to Lamans, pretty in pink, the Manchester United goalkeeper, and then he plays it out with a first-time touch with his right boot. Oldham now lead Northampton by 2-0, and there's been a goal at the Shea, Andy Sixsmith.
Halifax Town 0, Exeter City 1. Early goal, easy goal, corner from the left, wonderfully placed volley by Daniel Andrews. Halifax Town of the National League 0, Exeter City of League 1-1.
And we'll get news of that goal at Burton from Adam Whitty.
where it took 58 seconds for Burton to take the lead. The League One side easily breaking through the St Albans defence, the St Albans side of the Isthmian League. Tyrese Shade with the goal. The cup set already unlikely, you'd think, for a managerless St Albans. 5 minutes gone here. Burton 1, St Albans 0.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live, and we now welcome listeners to the BBC World Service. Wherever you are in the world, it's a pleasure to have your company this Saturday afternoon. Here we are at the City Ground, the home of Nottingham Forest, drawing 0-0 with Manchester United, who are on the attack. And Bruno Fernandes out towards Dalot on this near side, the left, attacking the Trent end. Dalot being held up, reaches the left corner of the area, flicks the ball back, now inside towards Bruno Fernandes. Dalot able to work over the cross. Williams is tucked in the left back to head it away. And Gibbs-White tried to get on the end of that. Now that loose ball picked up by Anderson. He glides away from Cunha and he sets Jesus off ahead of him, but he's been tracked by De Ligt, and then also following up with Shaw, and it goes out of play for a throw. Rotherham leads Swindon by 1-0 in the FA Cup. Goal in the Championship at Stoke City. Pat Murphy.
Gone to Stoke, Mubamba, the centre forward, really fine goal. Excellent work by Chamadou down the right, clean pair of heels. Brilliant low cross, 6 yards out, couldn't miss. Stoke 1, Bristol City 0.
Bristol City, who've won their last three straight wins in the Championship, but behind there in the Potteries. Macclesfield lead Tottenham by 1-0. AFC Tottenham, Macclesfield 1, Tottenham 0. Another scoreline in the FA Cup first round. This is 5 Live, the World Service, as Nottingham Forest are attacking. Hudson-Odoi coming in off that left touchline, in towards Jesus, turns, gets the shot away, and it goes behind for a corner kick. I initially thought that the opportunity had gone after his first touch, but he still managed to get it goal bound. Shaw with a block.
It was actually a good first touch. I think, as certainly Manchester United defenders thought he was going to hit that first time with his left foot as the ball came in from the left, but he opened his body up, allowed it to come across his body, touched with his left foot and tried to then, over his left shoulder, whip it in with his right foot, but Luke Shaw saw that one coming and blocked it away.
Remember, Nottingham Forest have gone over 7.5 hours of Premier League football without a goal since Nico Williams scored at Burnley back in September. Corner is rolled towards Douglas Luiz, delivers the ball towards the far post, and climbing from the back was Milinkovic. His header is over the top. Mansfield Town lead Harrogate Town by 1-0 in the FA Cup. Leon Osman.
Yeah, one from the training pitch, that certainly. Douglas Luiz getting the ball from the corner kick on the corner of the penalty area, first touch, and then just sort of feeds it towards the back post where Murillo and Milinkovic are both waiting for it. Milinkovic rises above Dalot as I watch it back, just couldn't quite keep the header down, but it's been a good start in possession from both teams. Both are winning second balls well, both are quite bright in possession.
Anderson, his forward ball. Hudson-Odoi out towards Ndoi. Ndoi comes in, shoots left-footed. That was moving in the air and tipped over with both hands by Senna Lamans, the Manchester United goalkeeper. Corner kick to Forest, struck it well.
Did strike it well. He was nearly caught out by the speed of the hit as Ndoi cut in on that left foot, maybe expecting Forest player to look for a run or look for a pass. He didn't. He put everything he had behind that left foot shot, and I think Romans is actually quite pleased it was right at him, just above his head, and was able to tip it over the crossbar.
Been a bright start here at the City Ground. 0-0 in front of the travelling support. Nottingham Forest, far side to left, have a corner kick. Plenty of red shirts to aim for in the penalty area. As the ball now is curled in, Milinkovic is there, headed out by Casemiro. Sliced effort by Anderson. Will roll out towards Williams, hooks over the cross. Yoro climbs to head it away, lifted in the air by Murillo. AFC Tottenham have equalised at Macclesfield. That is 1-1 in the FA Cup first round, and Forest go all the way back towards Matt Sells, but then his clearance goes out of play. But I noticed that Sean Dyche, nevertheless, is still applauding with his hands above his head.
I will always applaud a long pass, Deno, and I think it's exactly what we're going to see a lot of in the game at the moment. I think both teams have not been shy about being direct, and actually offensively rather than defensively have been very good at winning second balls and getting the game started in the opposition half.
Got a choice of listening as ever at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon live on Sports Extra 2. is Burnley against Arsenal. You can find that through the BBC Sounds app. It's another one of those streams. So Burnley on Sports Extra 2, Cheltenham Bradford City in the FA Cup on Sports Extra 3. Here on 5 Live, we're concentrating on this game at the City Ground 0-0, and we're also going to keep you abreast of what's happening elsewhere across the country. And we'll start at Selhurst Park with Chris Coles.
Crystal Palace 0, Brentford 0. Couple of decent free kicks for Crystal Palace on the edge of the area. One cleared, one into the wall. Looking like a decent game so far. Palace 0, Brentford 0.
Here is Gibbs White, waits for the run of Savona, out to his right. First time cross now comes in from the right back. Ahmad will head it away towards Mbumo, tries to hook it into the path of Sesko, goes back towards the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. But that early ball forward reaches Bruno Fernandes. And the ball is played back now towards Cunha. It remains 0-0. Goal at Craven Cottage, Will Perry.
Oh, it's not good from the Wolves' point of view. It's Fulham 1, Wolves 0. It was a bright start for the visitors against the run of play, but Ryan Sessegnon, after Wolves gave the ball away, right through the legs of Sam Johnston, and Fulham lead Wolves by a goal to 0.
Falkirk are 1-0 up as well. They lead Kilmarnock in the Scottish Premiership. Cambridge United are leading Chester by a goal to 0 in the Cup. And Boreham Wood have just taken the lead at home to Crawley Town, also in one of those first round ties. We mentioned that Burnley's live on Sports Extra 2. Julia Bold is watching at Turf Moor.
It's Burnley 0, Arsenal 0. Arsenal keeping possession so far. Nothing to trouble either keeper, though. A real battle building between Kyle Walker and Leandro Trossard. It is Burnley 0, Arsenal 0.
And now Nikesh Ragani will tell us about that Boreham Wood goal.
Yeah, a deserved goal for Boreham Wood. Zach Brunt playing through Matt Rush into the centre of the area, completely unmarked. Lovely, cool finish into the bottom corner. It's Boreham Wood 1, Crawley Town 0.
10 minutes in, what have you made of it, Leon?
I've enjoyed it so far. I mean, no really big chances, a couple of half chances, certainly ones from distance, a couple of blocks, but I think both teams have been quite energetic in the middle of the pitch. I think both are trying to get on the second balls and win and compete in the middle of the pitch, and are quite bright in possession. So yeah, I was about to say I see a goal coming at some point, but I probably shouldn't say that, Ian, should I?
Probably not, no. Darren England, by the way, is the referee, and he's just given a free kick to Nottingham Forest. Douglas Luiz doesn't look like he's in a position to continue at the moment. Anderson's walked across to him as well. Murillo's just been patting him on the chest. I don't know whether he's picked up a bit of a knock. He's already got what looks like a bit of strapping on his right knee. Is he feeling his hamstring?
Yeah, it looks like his left hamstring as he's stretching in that area. He's trying to flick his leg off. I'm seeing Elliot Anderson now pointing to his hamstring as the physios are allowed onto the pitch. But yeah, signs don't look good for Douglas Luiz.
Birmingham City, there's a stoppage then here, it remains 0-0. Birmingham City lead Portsmouth by a goal to 0 in the Championship. You know, you'd think something's got to give at the Amex today. Brighton and Hove Albion yet to keep a clean sheet so far this season. But Leeds United, John, what were you saying, hadn't scored there in 13 minutes?
On his wafer, cross it into the right-hand side, and Brighton have the lead. And it's Danny Welbeck, 6 yards out, the evergreen Danny Welbeck. Something has given in. Brighton 1, Leeds 0.
Well, the timing couldn't have been better, could it?
Yeah, but you said for Leeds. I think you thought Leeds were about to score.
No, I just said something had to give. So anyway, the goals as they go in live on BBC Radio 5 Live. Still play hasn't resumed. Douglas Luiz is still getting treatment. Fleetwood Town lead Barnet by a goal to 0. And in the Championship, there's been a goal at Oxford. Molly Stevens.
There has. Millwall have the lead. The easiest goal you will see. Bottom right-hand corner. Lovely little dink in from Tierno Ballo, who gives them the lead here at the Kassam Stadium. Oxford 0, Millwall 1.
4 successive wins before today for Alex Neil's side. Sharon Shortall watching the second test, England-Australia.
And it's still tight here as well. Just 9 minutes remaining in this half. It's England 2, Australia 4. Another penalty from Nathan Cleary, the only difference between these two sides. England with the better of the chances so far. Still waiting for the first try. England 2, Australia 4.
That is live on BBC One. Douglas Luiz is unable to continue, and so he's going to be replaced by Ryan Yates. He spent 2 decades at the City Ground. He joined the academy 20 years ago, Ryan Yates, and he's come up through, played in more or less every league, it would seem, for them.
Yeah, great servants.
250 appearances for the club. Douglas Luiz going straight down the tunnel.
Yeah, and I think it's his 250th appearance today. I mean, what a good achievement that is for someone who's come through the academy. He's been a really good performer, as Nottingham Forest have tried to strengthen over the years. He's never really gone away. He's always been in the squad and able to add quality within the ranks, and he's called upon early today.
Macclesfield are back in front, 2-1 they now lead AFC Tottenham in the Cup, 0-0 here. This is the Premier League live on 5 Live. After Sports Report, we've got Tottenham-Chelsea at 5:30 for you, as Nottingham Forest are on the attack, and Gibbs-White comes forward, out towards Hudson-Odoi. Anderson is joining the attack late, and he wanted the ball played to the edge of the area, but Hudson-Odoi goes on himself. His right-footed effort couldn't keep it down, and it is into the Manchester United travelling support, and it goes for a goal kick. Newport County 0, Gillingham 1, latest score in the Cup.
Yeah, bright from Nottingham Forest that. Manchester United looked like they were on the counter-attack. Bruno Fernandes playing the ball into the feet of Šeško on the halfway line, but quickly surrounded by a swarm of Forest players. Anderson, Yates and Milenkovic all around him, winning the ball back, getting it to Hudson-Odoi, who only had one thing in his mind. I think Jesus in the middle would be a bit frustrated that at no point he looked up to try and filter that ball across, but once he cut into the edge of the penalty area, just couldn't quite keep his shot down.
There's been a goal at Turf Moor. Julia Bolt.
It's Burnley 0, Arsenal 1. It came from a corner. Declan Rice sent it into the box, and it was Gyökeres who jumped high up to put it in the back of the net. A controversial corner as well, because it looked like the ball had already gone out before Dubravka got hold of it. But it is Burnley 0, Arsenal 1.
Sesko's just had a snapshot for Manchester United. Collect the ball, turned, hit it right-footed, and it was just curling away wide, but it was a good effort from the Manchester United striker. In the end, it was probably a good 2 feet wide as Sells dived away to his right-hand post. Another goal at Boreham Wood, Nikesh.
And it's the non-league side who have doubled their lead. Boreham Wood 2, Crawley Town 0. Zach Brunt with a penalty. He was brought down inside the area, stepped up to take the spot kick himself and slotted it coolly down the middle. Boreham Wood 2, Crawley Town 0.
Goal at Vicarage Road, Charlie Slater.
15 minutes gone, the home side in front. Watford 1, Middlesbrough 0. Quadwo bars ball into the penalty area. Imran Louza ran onto it. His 5th of the season, 1-0 Watford.
They've won their last 3 at home, have Watford. Middlesbrough, who started the day second in the table, but fallen behind. 0-0 here. Shaw is going to leave the free kick to be taken by Bruno Fernandes. Just knocks it back to the England international, who will go further back towards his goalkeeper, away towards our right. And now here is Shaw. Down the left line it goes towards Cunha. Coming across was Ndoi, and it'll be a throw to Manchester United. That was probably their best effort so far, wasn't it, for Sesko?
Yeah, and I like what I saw from him, to be honest. He is a big lad, and you'd expect him to be on crosses and asking United to put more deliveries into the area, but edge of the box, back to goal, adjusted his feet really well hit snapshot, and had it been on target another 2.5 feet to its right, there's no way Sells would have got there. He was flat-footed in that moment. Really good hit, unlucky.
AFC Tottenham have equalised at Macclesfield, 2-2 in the Cup. Amad Diallo forward for Manchester United, far side the right. Back then towards Euro, both sides naming unchanged teams for this encounter here at the City Ground, where Nottingham Forest have won their last 3 league games against Manchester United. They last won 4 in a row between 1909 and 1910, when Fred Earp was the manager, and the goal scorers in that time were players such as Grenville Morris and Enoch Knocker West.
I'm glad you said that one rather than me.
Blackpool leads Scunthorpe United by 1-0. Ashley Fletcher with the goal there, and Southend United are down to 10 because Ben Goodliff has been sent off for Southend United in the FA Cup, and they are currently drawing 0-0 away at Wealdstone. 0-0 here in the Premier League. Free kick to Manchester United, and Mbumo plays it towards Cunha, 6 yards in from the left touch line. Midway through the Forest half, Bruno Fernandes now with a dropping ball in, and it's knocked in towards Sells at the near post by Casemiro, who was arriving late, and it was gathered in by the Forest goalkeeper. So it talks about the Rugby League. What about the Rugby Union? England, Australia, Sarah Orchard.
7 minutes played. England 0, Australia 0. England have had a couple of overlaps where they really should have gone over, but the execution in their attack has been rusty. So for the time being, as they just win a penalty on the halfway England, it's England 0, Australia 0 as we approach the 8-minute mark.
And commentary of that is live on Sports Extra. Gibbs-White comes forward into the centre circle, gives the ball away. There are groans, but he quickly redeems himself and is applauded by his manager for his quick intervention as he swiftly won the ball back for Nottingham Forest. A number of Nottingham Forest supporters, though, not happy with their captain, because he'd made the claim that the Premier League is better off when Manchester United are winning games. A little odd days to say that before you encounter Manchester United. It is worth pointing out, though, he was a United fan as a boy. His idols were Wayne Rooney and Paul Scholes. But there was a strong reaction by some to that from Gibbs White, as that's a nice turn by Williams. Wealdstone have taken advantage of their superiority with Southend down to 10 and now lead by a goal to 0. 0-0 though here in the Premier League. What's the latest at Selhurst Park? Chris Coles.
0-0 here as well, Palace and Brentford, but the first chance of the game for Crystal Palace. Sarr bursting into the box. You could almost see the cogs whirring. Should I shoot? Should I shoot? And he decided to cross when he probably should have shot. Congested penalty area. Chance away. Still 0-0.
Here is Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro combining to take the ball away from Gibbs White. It's stroked out towards that far side as it's now raining here at the City Ground. So those blue skies and sunshine have disappeared. The rain sweeping down as Dalot, the left wing back, plays it down this near side. And Bumo is able to turn and pick a forward ball. And it dropped over the head of Murillo and then hit the right foot of Sesko, and it took it away from the Slovenian international and straight through to the Forest goalkeeper.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Manchester United. Good play, moving the ball all around the back towards Dalot, filters it to Mbeumo on the right hand side, and he gets turned on a halfway line and just leaves a high loopy one over the head of Murillo for Sesko to run onto, and he's unfortunate he couldn't quite bring it in. He was just unsighted slightly at the crucial moment as Murillo tried to intervene with the pass, and just as it bounced he took his eye off it slightly and couldn't bring it in. But good play for Manchester United. I think United have found it easier to play through the lines of Nottingham Forest in the last 5 or 10 minutes or so than Forest have the other way. I think Forest have been better served when they're getting the ball wide and really getting at Manchester United's wing backs. Alternatively, United have been better going through in the middle.
Gateshead, who are 15th in the National League, they are some 57 places below Wimbledon of League One in the pyramid system. However, they are leading in the FA Cup. Wimbledon 0, Gateshead 1. Still 0-0 at the City Ground. Amad Diallo back towards Bruno Fernandes, tries to hit it first time, stopping the ball reaching. And Mbeumo was Anderson just filling in there as the left back because Williams was a little bit further ahead of him. Back with the England international, who really has impressed ever since Thomas Tuchel brought him into the England setup. We'll go now to Fulham. Will Perry.
Fulham 1, Wolves 0. Menezes was down for a few minutes after a clash of heads with Anderson. He's back up and just headed wide from close range. By the way, that's Sessegnon goal, the 20th time that Wolves have conceded this season. They now have the joint worst defence with West Ham, currently 8 points from safety. Fulham 1, Wolves 0.
And Wolves are one of 3 sides who are yet to keep a clean sheet this season. Brighton and Nottingham Forest are the other 2. Queen's Park Rangers have equalised 1-1 at home to Ipswich. In the Scottish Premiership, Falkirk have increased their lead. They're now 2-0 up at home to Kilmarnock. Hudson-Odoi in towards Gibbs White. Inside left channel the penalty area. Runs back away from that byline. Plays it back to Hudson-Odoi, who delivers the cross. Downward header. Shaw, one of the central defenders, was there to get the ball away. But Forest want to try and build this momentum as Anderson hits a long ball over the top, but it's away from Hudson-Odoi and it will run through and out for a goal kick as it remains Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester United 0, but another goal for Pat Murphy at Stoke.
And another goal for Mbaba for Stoke City, and what a mistake by Bristol's highly rated goalkeeper Radek Videk. Man have stabbed the ball forward, routine pick up from the keeper, took his eye off it, bounced off his chest, and Mbaba said, "Thank you very much, sir, I don't mind if I do." Stoke 2, Bristol City 0.
And we'll just travel up the M6 to Sharon Shortall watching the Rugby League.
And the half-time hooters just gone. Play will end any second, and it is all square after a really tight first half. Harry Smith has added another penalty for England on what was yet another wave of England attack. They're looking decent this afternoon, far better than last weekend at Wembley. At half-time, it's England 4, Australia 4.
Barnsley 0, York City 1 is a latest score in the FA Cup. You're up to date with the goals as they go in. The feature race for today was the Charlie Hall Chase at Wetherby. It was due off at 2:57 and Giello won it at 11-4 ahead of Picton-Hoy at 5-1 and GA Law at 13-2. Hewick came 4th for those interested in the places. 5 live in the World Service. The referees coming under pressure from both sides here.
Yeah, both teams expected to see a foul in the last few minutes of the game. I think De Ligt was quite physical on the halfway line. I thought there was nothing wrong with that. Equally, Elliot Anderson and Casemiro competed for the ball. Casemiro seemed to come away with it. Nottingham Forest wanted a foul, and having not given two in Nottingham Forest's favour, Ahmad down the right hand side, cut inside Nico Williams, and Williams just brought him down. The referee again decided not to give a set piece.
Shaw with the interception, links up in the attack as well. I think Cunha wanted the layoff from Sesko. He was unable to control the ball, but it was a promising move that just broke down at the last moment. Sheffield United 0, Derby County 1, a latest score in the Championship. Scottish Premiership, Hearts Dundee, Gavin Wallace.
0-0 at the moment, 10:25 on the clock. Hearts with most of the possession, nothing else happening. The highlights though, the ball's ended up on the roof and the sun means I can't see the match. 0-0.
Another goal at Stoke though, Pat Murphy.
Another goal for Stoke, superb goal from Milian Manhoef. Lovely give and go with the big centre forward Mbama. Made space for himself, left foot past the keeper. Perfect goal from an attacking point of view. Stoke 3, Bristol City 0.
Early today in the Championship, Leicester City 0, Blackburn Rovers 2, and Norwich City, who've lost all 7 at home, beaten 2-0 by Hull City. That's 6 successive defeats now for Norwich, as Wigan Athletic lead Hemel Hempstead Town by a 1-0 in the FA Cup, and Western Supermen 0, Aldershot Town 1 is also a latest score in those first round ties. Colchester United have just taken the lead too, at home to MK Dons by a 0-0, as Ndoye tracking back for Nottingham Forest, just to shield the ball away from Cunha. Up it goes, Yates will get a touch, a toe end, succeeds to pass the ball forward towards Gibbs-White, gives it back towards the Forest captain. Anderson now looks for the run of Savona, bursting through and bursting clear into the penalty area right hand side. Savona's cross-come shot takes the deflection and gathered in by the goalkeeper. He looked uncertain when he got into the penalty area.
Yeah, he did, and it was there to be crossed initially. Jesus had got away in the middle from De Ligt momentarily, and if he'd have just played it in first time, you felt that the Forest striker may have been favoured to get on the end of it. He wanted another touch, and then he wanted to make his decision. He didn't make his decision early enough for Manchester United, able to get back and recover, but good play from Nottingham Forest down this right hand side.
Salford City 0, Lincoln City 1 is the latest score in the FA Cup. Now this could go wrong here, because I think the instructions were to go to Julia at Burnley.
Burnley 0, Arsenal 1 still, and it is all Arsenal so far. Burnley just struggling to even get hold of the ball, let alone get out their own half at the moment. Still Burnley 0, Arsenal 1.
A couple of bits of fortune going your way today, isn't it?
Just a little. Savona with a throw. Gibbs-White challenges Casemiro in the air. A real humdinger at Macclesfield. Macclesfield 2, AFC Tottenham 3 is the latest score in the FA Cup. Loose ball which Casemiro will tidy up. Back towards Senan Lamens, the Belgian goalkeeper. 1 clean sheet in his 3 games since he signed for just over £18 million from Royal Antwerp. As Yoro, De Ligt across that back 3, just sweeps it into the path of Shaw. Cunha being challenged behind by Ndoye. Sean Dyche isn't happy with that decision. It goes against Nottingham Forest. It's a free kick for Manchester United midway through their own half, and we are still 0-0.
Yeah, I think it was a foul. I don't think Cunha wanted to be going short to receive that ball off Shaw, and Ndoye felt it and tried to get in tight, but he did bring it to ground. But Sean Dyche has been quite animated in the last 5 minutes or so inside of his technical area, especially to his 2 central midfielders, telling them to get the ball wider as soon as possible, not over the top, not in between the fullback and centre halves. Open up and play the ball wide into those areas down the sides of the Manchester United 3 central defenders.
Shaw lifts the ball to Bruno Fernandes, finds the space now with the outside of his right boot, crosses it along the ground. Amad Diallo, shot! Saved by Sells, very good save too. High away towards his right, flying save from Sells. Ball picked up by Cunha. Manchester United still attacking. This is Casemiro. Casemiro tries to just dink the ball out towards Ahmad, and then coming back from an offside position, flag raised, free kick to Nottingham Forest, 0-0. But that will do Sells the world of good for somebody who kept a number of clean sheets last season. I think it did take a deflection on its way through, didn't it?
Maybe. I thought it should have been a lot more comfortable than he made it look. I thought he maybe could have even caught that. I think that was the old school one for the cameras. that we'd say, but it came after a good move from Manchester United. It took a little bit of risk inside their own half, not far outside their own penalty area. A cute little nutmeg from Bruno Fernandes, but I think I've seen that a little bit more. We've actually spoke of United going long today and how often they would try to do it. There has been quite a few occasions where they've actually tried to suck Nottingham Forest out, tried to bring them onto them, tried to play through a little bit more than I expected, and on a couple of occasions they've actually ended up with a shot at the other end, so well done.
This day a year ago, Ruben Amorim was announced as the new head coach. He actually began his spell as manager on November the 11th. He's won 21 of his 52 games before, talking about it and just saying it's been a really tough period, but it still remains one of the biggest honours of his life. He's come through a lot of scrutiny and a lot of pressure, and he comes into this game for the first time with 3 successive wins under his belt as Manchester United's head coach, as with his puffer jacket on, black puffer jacket in that technical area, the white pumps, pacing up and down. Barnsley have equalised at home to York City in the FA Cup first round. 5 Live, the World Service, and also the BBC Sounds app, with half an hour played here in the rain at the City Ground. And Gibbs White runs away from Bruno Fernandes, tries to weave a ball through towards Jesus, stopped though by De Ligt, and Bruno Fernandes now towards Ahmed, lays it off first time in field, and that was right of the centre circle for Mbeumo to run forward, but Murillo had tracked him every step of the way, and Sean Dyche wants Forest to push up and squeeze Manchester United as that back line goes towards the halfway line. And Lamens now comes under pressure from the press, and as a result his hurried clearance goes out for a throw, and Williams picks up the ball off one of those white cones on the far side and looked like he'd been impeded by Mbeumo and unable to take a quick throw. He did make the most of it, did Nico Williams, and there's no action from the referee taken Darren England against the Manchester United player. At least something's happened for Gavin Wallace.
There has, and it's a goal for Hearts. Great individual effort as the run came up. It falls to Lawrence Shankland on the edge of the box, Ian, and he just, as cool as you like, inside of the right foot, far side of John McCracken. Hearts 1, Dundee 0.
Leaders going from strength to strength. Dalot tidies up, and then back it goes. Lamens will clear downfield. Anderson does well to control that high ball out from under the ground. It went almost out of play for a throw, but he did well to keep it in and retrieve it as Forest still have possession. And now they look for the run of Gibbs White, but that goes all the way through to the goalkeeper, and it's no longer goalless at Selhurst Park. Chris Coles.
Selhurst Park bouncing to greet Jean-Philippe Mateta's opening goal. Deep free kick, Lerma headed it back across goal, and Mateta flicked it into the far corner. Crystal Palace 1, Brentford 0.
That's also now the scoreline between Newport and Gillingham, because Newport County have equalised in the FA Cup. Newport 1, Gillingham 1, and Reading have taken the lead against Carlisle United by a goal to 0. Liam Richardson, of course, was appointed during the week as their new manager against the Carlisle side, who are third in the National League, managed by Mark Hughes. As Shaw, his forward ball will go all the way through towards Matt Sells in blue, away towards our left. Back to Watford, Charlie Slater.
Watford 2, Middlesbrough 0. This is a brilliant, inviting, right-footed ball from Jeremy Ngakia, which finds Luca Quirumgo his first goal since the middle of August. Watford 2, Middlesbrough 0.
Millwall then will be going second in the table, just 2 points behind Coventry City, as Manchester United are attacking, and this is Mbeumo. His attempted cross blocked. It rebounds out towards Bruno Fernandes, who lifts the ball out towards that far side. Here is Mbeumo again, gives himself room to deliver the cross. Sesko at the far post was poised, but Savona had gone back with him and keeps the ball in play. Oh, the assistant referee on the far side.
Oh, I think it was the referee that gave it. I don't think the assistant actually flagged the referee. He is probably closest, to be honest, the referee, certainly than the official, who, yes, he's looking all the way down the line, but the referee's a lot closer. He was the one who gave that decision after good play from Manchester United. Well defended initially from Savona, up against Sesko at the far post, but then as he's scrambling over, he just seems to stumble on the ball himself. We're just getting to see it back, and it doesn't look like the ball was out.
No, and the assistant referee on the far side is getting pelters from the Forest fans in the Trent End, and the fourth official's getting it in the ear too from Sean Dyche. In comes the corner for Manchester United, and what do you know what? Manchester United have gone and scored. Casemiro's downward header. Manchester United are ahead, and there is uproar from a Forest point of view. Controversial goal as far as Forest are concerned. Sean Dyche isn't happy, the Forest fans aren't happy, but Manchester United take the lead 1-0.
Oh, Sean Dyche and his team are furious. So is this Nottingham Forest crowd base. Certainly showing how frustrated they are with that decision going against them. Certainly shouldn't have been a corner. We've just seen the replay, and I'm pretty sure it's the referee that gave it, not the assistant who was looking down the line. I mean, it is close, but I still don't think all the ball is out. Maybe from the referee's angle, it looked it. But the corner kick was given, and from that moment, Nottingham Forest had to defend it, and they didn't. Bruno Fernandes just whips it in swinger from this side of the pitch, and he just puts a lot of loop on it, a lot of loft, and lands it soft in the middle of the goal, probably exactly on the 6-yard line, probably about a yard inside the far post, and asks someone to go and head it. Nottingham Forest are marking zonally. Casemiro arrives on cue with a running leap, just gets above everybody and directs it down to the left-hand side to Selz's right hand, bounces down and in the goal. Manchester United are celebrating, Nottingham Forest are furious.
Casemiro with his 3rd goal of the season, and the Manchester United fans in full voice away towards our right. Still Ian Wone and the Nottingham Forest bench are complaining to the 4th official. There are goals elsewhere around the country. Grimsby Town 0, Ebbsfleet United 1. 12th in National League South against the League 2 team, and they are ahead at Blundell Park. Slough Town 1, Altrincham 0, Cambridge United 2, Chester 0, and you're up to date with the goals as they go in, as we find out what's happening in the rugby union with Sarah Orchard.
Well, after a sluggish start, it's now England 10, Australia 0, 23 minutes on the clock. It was so clunky, the England attack, but all of a sudden they burst into life. Beno runs half the length of the pitch on the halfway line to go under the post. A penalty and a conversion by George Ford. A lot rosier right now in the Twickenham crowd. England 10, Australia 0.
Nothing rosy about the crowd here at the City Ground for those the red of Nottingham Forest. That rugby union match, by the way, is live on Sports Extra, but Manchester United are ahead. Macclesfield 3, AFC Tottenham 3, as there's now been another goal at Turf Moor. Julia Bolt.
It's Burnley 0, Arsenal 2, and it has been coming. This time Trossard has sent the ball into the box. Declan Rice with his head on it, centre of goal. Burnley 0, Arsenal 2.
That would be a 9-match winning sequence for the league leaders, who are in sensational form. Anderson in the penalty area with a cut back towards Gibbs-White, but Dallow was alert, and the left wing back in a central area was just able to get his left foot into the challenge as Manchester United now look for a counter-attack, and Ahmad has been sent scampering away over on that far side, the right. Ahmad now level with the area, crosses the ball, and Dallow, who actually started that move with the initial interception, tried to get on the end of it on the edge of the area. Forest now have the red shirts back, but Manchester United, through that controversial goal, it should not have been a corner kick, and from the resulting corner, Casemiro's goal has given them the lead. Colchester 1, MK Dons 1.
Yeah, United just getting to the halfway line, just trying to take the sting out of this game, and not the noise of the crowd, because since that goal it's been Nottingham Forest on the front foot, trying to compete, trying to win the ball back. Manchester United were taking risks at the back. It's not what they should have been doing in that moment of the game, with this crowd baying for their team to be on the front foot, and they won the ball back on 2 occasions in those couple of moments. Forest nearly created something. The moment United went long, that's when they nearly got in at that end of the pitch.
Livingston 1, Hibs 1 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership, and it sounds as if it's going from bad to worse for Wolves. Will Perry.
Exactly what I was about to say, Ian. Fulham 1, Wolves 0, but Wolves, the visitors, down to 10 men. Emmanuel Agbadou refusing to walk as things stand, but he was the last man. It's gone to a VAR check. Josh King was bursting through. Agbadou cleaned him out. The 2 other Wolves defenders seemed miles away. They're checking a handball here for Josh King. I'll come back to you. As it stands, though, Wolves down to 10, Fulham 1, Wolves 0.
Thanks, Will. The last 2 seasons, of course, the 3 promoted sides have immediately been relegated. They've gone straight back down. Only 4 times in the 33 seasons in the history of the Premier League have all 3 promoted sides stayed up, and the last time it actually happened was Nottingham Forest were one of them, with Bournemouth and Fulham in 2023. But there's going to be a lot of pressure down at the bottom, the way that Sunderland, Leeds United and Burnley have started this season, although Burnley of course are 2-0 down to Arsenal. But Wolves, who are winless, and Nottingham Forest struggling, are both behind. Falkirk 3, Kilmarnock 0. Hearts lead Dundee 2-0. Gavin Wallace.
cycle from a corner, a bit of a stramash inside the box. Just as, I thought he was through again, Ian, sorry. Hearts 2, Dundee 0.
Slough Town 2, Altrincham 0, and there has been a goal at St Mary's. Paul Gilmore.
Pretty grim atmosphere here because Preston have the lead. Lewis Dobbin from close range after 39 minutes. Southampton with just 2 home league wins in 2025. They had made a bright start, but Preston have the lead. Southampton 0, Preston 1.
Will still be in a job. That is a conundrum as the shot fired in, but Hudson-Odoi just goes wide. I can't take the credit for that. I had a good friend who sent it to me. It works better on a text. Will still be in a job. Talking of Will, here's the Perry version.
Yeah, not sure how I'm still in a job. Still Fulham 1, Wolves 0, and he has gone, Emmanuel Agbadou, as the free kick comes in from Fulham. Harry Wilson straight into the wall. There was a handball. It just depends where you see where the t-shirt line was, and Josh King wearing the Under Armour, he's got away with it. Agbadou's gone, Wolves down to 10, Fulham 1, Wolves 0.
Cheers, Will. Match the day tonight, 10:30 BBC One. There's been a goal at Spennymoor now in the FA Cup. Nathan Albon.
And it's gone to League 2, Barrow. 5 minutes before the break, Elliot Newby slipped in on goal and a delicate dinked finish over the goalkeeper. It is Spennymoor Town 0, Barrow 1.
Sutton United 1, Telford 0 is the latest score also in the Cup. Manchester United are 1-0 up here on this busy Saturday afternoon. 5 minutes to go to half-time. Yoro out towards Ahmed. He's got a lot of time on the ball to control it. Nobody's gone towards him. Sean Dyche again is wanting those red shirts of Forest who are playing from left to right as we look to move down the field. Here is Cunha out to the left. Dallow passes the ball back. Luke Shaw. Peterborough United lead Cardiff City by a 1-0 in the FA Cup. As here is Shaw. Looks comfortable for the minute for United.
Yeah, I just feel there's a bit more, certainly belief in what they're doing at the moment, but also a little bit more know-how. You know, those moments of experience of when to attack, when to defend, when to play long, when to play short. And that's not just about experience, that's understanding the system, that's understanding where you are in particular moments, that's understanding pressure. And apart from, immediately after they scored and started trying to play through a Nottingham Forest aggressive press, they've actually known when to play Manchester United, and I think they've found Mbeumo and Cunha in some brilliant pockets of space.
Here is Mbeumo, passes the ball forward. Ahmed cuts inside and looks for an effort off his left foot as he entered the D of the penalty area, couldn't keep it down. It was a wayward finish in the end, and it goes out for a goal kick. Bolton Wanderers lead Huddersfield Town by a 1-0 in the FA Cup. When Manchester United have scored first this season, they're unbeaten in 6. They've won the previous 5. They had that draw at Fulham. But for Nottingham Forest, when they've conceded first in 9 previous games, they are yet to win. They've drawn 2 and lost 7.
Yeah, and I think you could see Sean Dyche's reaction. He knew the importance of the first goal here today. There's certainly enough time for his team to get back in the game, but it just makes it a little bit more difficult, especially with the style you're expecting Nottingham Forest to play and the style in which you'd expect the Sean Dyche team to play. You generally need to get the first goal. It's Manchester United who've started the better.
That's the voice of Leon Osman, the former Everton and England international. Ball scooped forward. Here is Ndoi, down into the ground. Good save. Loose ball. Flags up anyway, might not have counted. Lammens made the save and Ndoi was in an offside position. However, it was still a very good save by the goalkeeper, right-footed down into the ground. Manchester United are still 1-0 up, and he was well offside. Actually, no, maybe a little bit tighter than necessarily thought.
Yeah, it was close, but you always felt he was. But I'm sure Lammens won't mind that, having given the opportunity to make a save. That'll be good for his confidence, but also for Nottingham Forest, showing if they're just a bit crisper with the passing, if they bend the runs slightly better, there are opportunities to get at this United team.
We'll go to the Amex then. Brighton and Hove Albion against Leeds United. John Southall.
Where Brighton still leads by 1-0. Could have been 2. Minte into the penalty area, inside the defender Biol, but then shot wide of the right-hand post. Brighton 1, Leeds 0.
Gibbs White in the penalty area has a shot blocked by a sliding short, and then taken out there was Cunha. He's holding his face, and not 1 but 2 rolls there from Mateus Cunha, and the Nottingham Forest supporters are not happy at all. I think Yates might have been the offender.
Yeah, the first impression, having not seen it back, was a finger in the eye or just a hand, and just seeing it again, it was actually not in the face, it was on his shoulder. He just made contact with a straight arm on his shoulder. That's not necessarily a foul in my eyes. Cunha's bought one there on the edge of the penalty area, but the attack that came before it showed that with a good bit of crisp passing, Nottingham Forest can make opportunities. Hudson-Odoi just coming inside for once, getting the ball on the edge of the D on the halfway line, inside the opposition, inside Manchester United's half, unmarked, turning, bursting forward. He had 3 options, ended up choosing Gibbs-White, but the pass to him just meant it was a bit firm, meant Gibbs-White needed a touch before he finished it. By that chance, Shaw was able to make the challenge.
Such poor form though from Cunha, to go around holding his face, writhing in agony as if he's been struck in the face when he wasn't at all. Wasn't even touched, he was on his shoulder.
Unfortunately, that's part of the game today, isn't it? Not something that we'd say we're all pleased with or we all enjoy. I think we like to see real competitiveness in, you know, both sets of players, you know, giving as good as they get and being really honest in what they're doing. Very much like what you see in rugby league and union at the moment, but it's not what we've got in football, so fortunately we just have to get on with it.
Maybe a little too early for pantomime season, but I'm sure he'll be booed throughout the rest of the game. Ball forward now towards Jesus. Flag stays down. Jesus into the inside right channel of the penalty area. Another late flag. We're going to have 3 minutes of added time here at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester United 1. The atmosphere there has gone flat.
Yeah, I mean, you heard and you spoke about the noise that greeted the both sets of players at the arrival of the teams, the introduction that Sean Dyche got, the way that both teams started. We had a good competitive game, and obviously the manner in which the corner kick came for the goal, the officials, in our opinion, looking like they got the decision wrong, has just took the sting out of Nottingham Forest.
Crewe leading Doncaster Rovers by a goal to 0. As Nottingham Forest are awarded a free kick, a foul from Sesko on Yates. 3 minutes then of added time. Can Nottingham Forest, the lowest scorers in the Premier League, only 5 goals in their 9 games before today, try and muster up something before the break, as the ball is hit long by Williams, and Doy gives chase. De Ligt goes with him, and the ball goes out of play, and it will be a Manchester United throw in on that far side.
A bit of work to be done by Nottingham Forest at half-time. You talk about, you know, their inability to score many goals, and, you know, barring chances from the edge of the penalty area, Hudson-Odoi, shots from distance, they haven't really opened up this United defence. There have been opportunities to create, but they just haven't managed it.
Anderson looks for the run of Ndoye. Tracking back with him though was Dallow. Ndoye though held on to the ball, flicked it back inside. Here is Savona, the right back. It's a left-footed cross into the area. Yoro with a diving header away inside the penalty area. Bounces off the chest of Cunha. Milinkovic and Murillo will tidy all the way back towards the goalkeeper's cells. Oxford United 1, Millwall 1 is the latest score in the Championship. And Ebbsfleet United are down to 10 men as they lead at Grimsby Town by a goal to 0 in the FA Cup. Let's get news of that goal from Molly Stevens.
Well, Millwall might be looking for a 5th successive league win, but Oxford are ready to spoil their party just before half-time. Cameron Brannigan, the captain, rifles the ball into the top left-hand corner. Unbelievable goal. Oxford 1, Millwall 1.
Cambridge United have got a 3rd goal at home to Chester in the Cup. Cambridge United 3, Chester 0. I think the match officials are going to get it from the Forest fans at half-time, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I think it'll be wait until they leave the field to hear exactly what the Nottingham Forest faithful feel about the officiating in the first half. But it's a majority of just one decision. It was Paul.
Here is Hudson-Odoi running at the heart of the United defence. Passes the ball out wide. Jesus, left side of the penalty area, back into Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi looked for the run of Anderson, couldn't take it with him as he ran forward, and then Hudson-Odoi with a trip on Ahmad, and that'll be a free kick to Manchester United, who still lead through that Casemiro header. Leon Osman.
Yeah, on the flip side of that, I think Ruben Amorim will be delighted with his team. I think they've been pretty secure defensively. I don't think they've been exposed or stretched too often. I don't think that midfield two either of Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes have really been taxed. They've not had to cover an awful lot of ground to stop what Nottingham Forest are doing, and they have created a couple of chances. And yes, the goal to take them ahead may have been a gift with regards to the decision, but he'll be pleased.
Well, there are the boos for the half-time whistle, and they will be directed at the match officials, because the only goal has come from a corner that shouldn't have been awarded. From the resulting corner, it was headed in by Casemiro. Leon Osman.
Yeah, this game is very much in the balance. I think if this had gone off at 0-0 at half-time, you'd probably say that's about fair. If anything, Manchester United did edge that first half, but it was that decision that you're hearing the reaction to now at the officials that created the corner kick and made the opportunity to go and score it. But either way, Nottingham Forest still had an opportunity to defend the corner kick. They didn't do it well enough, and United took advantage of that. But the game was there for either team in the second half. A few tweaks here or there, a little bit of direction from the managers, and certainly Nottingham Forest will want to get this crowd behind them as early as they can in that second half.
Well, Darren England is being flanked by security guards as he makes his way down to the tunnel, to a cacophony of boos here at the City Ground. And Steve, Crawley Town are also now down to 10 men as they trail 2-0 away to Boreham Wood in the Cup. But that brings everybody up to date, apart from FC Halifax 0, Exeter City 2 is another latest score in the FA Cup. At half-time here, it's Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester United 1.
There's been a try at Twickenham, Sarah Orchard.
It's a try for Australia, 36 minutes played, England 10, Australia 7, and Harry Potter, the Australian wing, has picked the pocket of Fraser Dingwall, who's going to have nightmares about the intercept he gave away. It is now England 10, Australia 7, 36 minutes played.
Arsenal looking very comfortable at Turf Moor, half-time, Julia Bold.
Very comfortable. It's Burnley 0, Arsenal 2. That first goal coming on 14 minutes. Declan Rice on a corner. It almost felt inevitable as he sent the ball into the box. A little bit of a scramble. Gyökeres, centre of goal, 6-yard box, and he managed to head it in to prove set pieces are very much in vogue right now. That second goal for Arsenal, Trossard sending the ball into the centre of goal with his left foot. Declan Rice jumping up to head it in beyond Dubravka. Could have been more as well. Saka's had a close range shot, punched away. Hartman blocked. Trossard's follow-up effort on the line. Burnley are struggling. 0 shots on or off target. It's Burnley 0, Arsenal 2.
Half-time at Selhurst, Chris Coles.
Crystal Palace 1, Brentford 0. The inevitable Jean-Philippe Mateta goal has Palace in front, and it's where they deserve to be. The more energetic, the more inventive in midfield, and they'd had the better openings before Mateta's header guiding in Lerma's touch from a deep free kick into the corner. Brentford have looked threatening via Coyote's long throw, but their best chance wasted right on half-time. A free kick on the edge of the box, dead centre, disappointingly curled over by Damsgaard. Crystal Palace 1, Brentford 0.
Brighton Leeds has reached half-time. John Southall.
It has. Brighton 1, Leeds 0. Goal aside, it's been a pretty poor half. Daniel Farke will be disappointed with goal after 11 minutes. Far too easy. Mats Wiefer crossed from the right. There was Danny Welbeck unmarked, 6 yards out. Tucked it in, 6th goal of the season after that. Slim pickings. Welbeck and Minter both shot wide. Leeds have seen plenty of the ball, haven't done enough with it. A Longstaff deflected shot late in the half about it. Brighton 1, Leeds 0.
Still playing at Craven Cottage. Fulham Wolves, Will Parry.
Yeah, the whistle's just gone for half-time. Fulham 1, Wolves 0. The Wolves' defence opened up. Jimenez played a first-time pass into the path of Sessegnon, who finished down the middle under the body of Sam Johnston. Wolves then reduced to 10 after Agbadou, the last man, cleaned out King. Straight red shown. VAR said that the King hand ball in the build-up before the foul was high enough up the T-shirt line. The season has been ugly, hasn't it, for Wolves? It could get uglier at the Cottage. Fulham 1, Wolves 0.
As it stands, Wolves 8 points from safety, whilst in Scotland, Hearts going 9 points clear. Gavin Wallace.
Yeah, the Jambos juggernaut continues at full speed, Steve. They're 2-0 up at half-time. Lawrence Shankland, 7th of the season on 32. He got it at the edge of the box, cool as a cucumber, went the far side of the goalkeeper, bottom corner. Then Lavi Kador with his opening goal. He's opened his account for the Jambos this afternoon. It was a bit of a stramash inside the box, a recycle corner. It was really good from Hearts. It got into the 6-yard box and smashed it home from there. Apart from that, chances have been at a premium. Hearts have taken them. They're up 2-0.
The other two half-time scores in the Scottish Premiership, Falkirk lead Kilmarnock by 3-0 as they look for their third win in 4 games. It is Livingston 1, Hibs 1. In the Championship, in the early kick-offs, it finished Leicester City 0, Blackburn 2, Norwich City 0, Hull 2, and West Bromwich Albion 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Those the full times. Half-time at Vicarage Road, Watford Middlesbrough. Charlie.
Watford 2, Middlesbrough 0 as it stands. Borough missing their chance to go level points with Coventry at the top of the Championship. Both Watford goals coming down the right wing. First Bar found loser before Ngakia cross for Kierum go. Watford looking good for what would be a 4th straight home win. They lead Middlesbrough 2-0 at the break.
So Millwall have the opportunity to go second in the table, not taking it yet at Oxford. Molly Stevens.
Absolutely not. It's all square at half-time. Millwall got the opener, a throw into the box, found Tiano Barlow at very close range. He headed it in for his first goal for the club. But then since then, Oxford have had brilliant chances well saved by Max Crocombe, but he couldn't save the looping right-footed shot into the top left corner from Cameron Brannigan moments before half-time for the equaliser. Significant news for Millwall is that their top scorer, Femi Aziz, has been forced off injured. He walked off, so it didn't look too serious, but Millwall now down to 4th in the live table. Oxford 1, Millwall 1.
As it stands, Stoke going 3rd in the Championship. Pat Murphy.
Because they're leading Bristol City 3-0, 3 up after 25 minutes, and Bristol at least stopped the rot before half-time. Stoke sharper, more aggressive. Manhoof and Chamadou irresistible down the right flank. 2 goals from Mubama, the second a shocking error by the keeper Vitek, and a delightful third from Manhoof. Stoke 3, Bristol City 0.
Half-time at the Valley. Mike Williams.
Charlton 0, Swansea 0, a match low on chances, low on quality, which is a bit surprising, especially from Charlton, who have been in good form and can climb into the top 6 with a win here today. The only real chance of the game did fall to the home side defender. Macaulay Gillespie, up for a corner, saw his header tipped over the bar by the fingertips of the Swansea keeper Vigouroux. Hopefully we'll get more in the second half. Charlton 0, Swansea 0.
Will Still has got real problems at St Mary's. Half-time, Paul Gilmore.
Yeah, problems mounting. Southampton 0, Preston 1. Loud boos at half-time. Similar story for Saints, a lot of possession but not doing much with it. Preston scoring with their first shot on target after 39 minutes. Lewis Dobbin with his 4th of the season from close range. It has prompted a toxic reaction from the home fans. Southampton 0, Preston 1.
Other half-time scores for you in the Championship. Birmingham lead Portsmouth by 1-0. It's Queen's Park Rangers 1, Ipswich 1 at half-time. Sheffield United 0, Derby 1 is a half-time score, and you're up to date in the Championship. Rugby League Ashes second test. Sharon Shortle.
Australia lead by 12 points to 4 after 2 quick-fire tries, 2 in the space of 5 minutes. We're just getting the conversion for the second of those, and it is successful from Nathan Cleary. So another 2 points added. The first try coming from Cameron Munster, sliding over the line with the momentum of the tackle, and then Hudson Young taking advantage of a ball bouncing in free space after a kick on the last, which England couldn't deal with. Latest score then, England 4, Australia 14. We've played 54 minutes.
You can watch that one on BBC One on 5 Sports Extra. It's England-Australia Rugby Union at Twickenham. Sarah.
Half-time, England 10, Australia 7. An opening score by Ben Earl after a lovely secure from the restart by Tom Roebuck from the wing, the Sale player, doing so well to set up the Saracens' number 8. But all of a sudden, it was the Australians who fought back. As England thought they were going over for another, it was Harry Potter, the Australian wing, who just plucked the ball out of the air, just metres away from England going over again to run the whole length of the pitch. And all of a sudden, it's tight. It's England 10, Australia 7.
Right, FA Cup round 1 in the half-time in the 3 o'clock kickoffs. The biggest shock on the cards at the moment is AFC Wimbledon of League One, trailing by 1-0 to Gateshead of the National League. Kane Adam with the goal. They lead 1-0. Half-time in the game between Boreham Wood and Crawley Town. Nikesh Regani.
Where it's Boreham Wood 2, Crawley Town 0. The non-league side taking a deserved lead into the breaks after starting with great intensity. They took that early lead when Matt Rush was played through into the area to score his 11th of the season. That lead was then doubled from the penalty spot when Zach Brunt was brought down in the area. He took the penalty and scored himself. It could have been 3 or 4 in all honesty. Crawley offered very little in terms of quality going forward, and they'll have to play the second half with 10 men because Ryan Loft was sent off in stoppage time for what appeared like violent conduct. At the break, it's Boreham Wood 2, Crawley Town 0.
Another possible shock on the cards, albeit they're down to 10 men now, is Ebbsfleet leading Grimsby Town. So that's League 2 Grimsby, who've caused a couple of League Cup shocks this season, trailing by 1-0. Charlie Seaman scoring it for the National League South side. What about Burton Albion against semi-pro St Albans City? Adam Whitty.
Half-time, Burton 1, St Albans 0. This game's still in the balance. It didn't feel like it would be after League One. Burton took the lead after 58 seconds through Tyrese Shade, but the 7th tier Saints came back at the Brewers, forcing 3 saves from their goalkeeper in the middle part of the halves. St Albans, 86 places below Burton, are certainly asking questions, but it's Burton who lead 1-0 against St Albans at half-time.
What about National League North Spennymoor Town against League 2 Barrow? Nathan Alban.
Half-time, Spennymoor 0, Barrow 1. The League 2 sides snatching the lead just before the break. Elliot Newby with a fine finish over the on-rushing Spennymoor goalkeeper. Before then, though, Spenny looked the better team, just haven't taken their chances. Half-time, 6th tier, Spennymoor 0, Barrow 1.
To the Shea, Halifax Exeter, Andy Sixsmith.
Where National League Halifax Town trail League One Exeter City by 2-0. Last thing you want, Steve, is the underdogs to concede after 2 minutes. That's exactly what Halifax did. Corner from the left, volleyed into the roof of the net by Danny Andrew. And then Jaden Wareham doubled Exeter's lead in added time. Right place, right time to net a rebound. Fine acrobatic celebration to match as well. Halifax have had their chances. They've got 45 minutes to perform one heck of an FA Cup comeback, but they trail at half-time, 2-0.
Here's one heck of a scores read. Right, FA Cup getting you up to date. Chelmsford beat Braintree by 4-1 in the early kick-off. National League South beating National League. Half-times, Barnsley 1, York City 1. Blackpool leads Scunthorpe United by 1-0. All League One clash at Bolton. They are 1-0 up against Huddersfield Town. Crawley are down to 10 and trailing 2-0 at the break at Boreham Wood. It's Bromley 0, Bristol Rovers 0. Buxton Chatham is 0-0 at half-time. Cambridge United 3-0 up against Chester City. Cheltenham leading Bradford City by 1-0. It's 1-1 in the game between Colchester and MK Dons. Crewe lead Doncaster by 1-0. Also Fleetwood 1, Barnet 0. Game of the day so far, Macclesfield 3, AFC Totton 3 at half-time. That's National League North versus National League South. Mansfield are 1-0 up on Harrogate. It's 1-1 in the game between Newport and Gillingham. Oldham are 2-0 up against Northampton at half-time. Reading lead Carlisle by 1-0. Peterborough lead Cardiff by 1-0. Salford 0, Lincoln 1. Rotherham United are 1-0 up in their game with Swindon. Slough lead Altrincham by 2-0 at half-time. Stevenage 0, Chesterfield 0. Sutton United are 1-0 up on AFC Telford. Still 0-0 in the game between Tranmere Rovers and Stockport. Southend United down to 10 men and trailing by 1-0 at Wealdstone. Weston-super-Mare are 1-0 down at home to Aldershot. Wigan lead Hemel Hempstead 1-0, and it is Wickham 0, Plymouth 0. Scottish Championship, Arbroath 1, Ross County 0 is a half-time score. Partick Thistle are 2-0 up on Queen's Park. That would put Partick second in the league, 3 points behind St Johnstone, who lead Adrionians by 1-0. The other score is Wraith 1, Morton 1. Scottish League 1 live scores for you. These are all now reaching half-time. Alloa 2, Kelty Hearts 0. Cove Rangers 1, Peterhead 1. East Fife 0, Hamilton 0, Inverness 0, Montrose 0, and Stenhouse Muir are 1-0 down at Queen of the South. So as it stands, Inverness are going top of the table. Scottish League 2 next for you. The leaders Spartans are 2-0 up against Forfar at half-time. It's Stirling City 0, Edinburgh 1, Spartans 2, East Kilbride 0, Elgin 1, Annan 0, and Clyde 1, Dumbarton 1. And of course, we'll keep you up to date later at 5:30 in the Scottish League Cup. The first of the semi-finals is Motherwell versus St Mirren. You're up to date with all of the live football scores on 5 Live Sports. Second half commentaries to come in the Premier League from the City Ground and Turf Moor after Al Tansley.
The voice of the UK. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
A 38-year-old woman has been charged over the theft of jewellery from the Louvre in Paris. The jewels, worth around £77 million, are still missing. The man who died in a helicopter crash in Doncaster has been named by his family as 70-year-old Peter Smith. The pilot and 2 passengers were injured in the crash on Thursday. Politicians in the US are calling for Andrew Mountbatten Windsor to come forward and answer questions about Jeffrey Epstein. He's always denied any wrongdoing over his friendship with the late sex offender. And state media in Moscow say Ukrainian troops surrounded by Russian forces in the key eastern town of Pokrovsk are beginning to surrender. Ukraine's military has called the situation difficult and dynamic.
Conspiracy theories really can impact the way the world works.
Disinformation. You think you're winning.
There could be 1,000 deepfakes. Actually, you could upend democracy.
But it's because of you we work 24/7.
BBC News at midnight. The Prime Minister will host
to verify the facts with digital tools and reporters on the ground.
BBC News, Moscow.
Look, Roger. In the West Bank. So, no matter how quickly disinformation spreads,
Let's have trial by combat.
We'll be ready. The fight for truth is on. Trust is earned. This is our BBC.
This is 5 Live Sports with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Teams on their way out of tunnels again, up and down the land. Reminder in the Premier League, Brighton lead Leeds United by 1-0. It's Crystal Palace 1, Brentford 0, Fulham 1, Wolves 0. If you want to listen to Burnley 0, Arsenal 2, the second half is coming up now on Sports Extra 2. Here on 5 Live, Nottingham Forest trailing Manchester United by 1-0. Second half commentary with Leon Osman and Ian Dennis.
Sheffield United have just conceded as well. Derby County have got a second goal at Bramall Lane in the Championship. Sheffield United 0, Derby County 2. Neither side has made a change here for the start of the second half. So Nottingham Forest in their red shirts, white shorts, will be attacking the Trent end, playing from right to left with Sells in goal, Savona, Milinkovic, Murillo and Williams, Yates, who came on in the first half, Douglas Luiz, Anderson in the midfield with Hudson-Odoi, Ndoye, Gibbs-White and Igor Jesus. For Manchester United in their black shirts and shorts and yellow socks, playing from left to right, they have Lamens in goal, back three of De Ligt, Yoro and Shaw, Amad Diallo and Diogo Dalot are the wing-backs, right and left respectively, as we are back underway. Casemiro the goal scorer, Bruno Fernandes in the midfield with Mbumo and Cunha supporting Benjamin Sesko, as Manchester United are on the attack. And the rain that we had in the first half has disappeared. We've now got autumnal sunshine here in Nottingham. Burton Albion have got a second goal at home to St Albans City in the FA Cup first round, as Yoro plays it forward towards Amad, and then his ball infield towards Mbumo. And Manchester United looking for a fourth straight win. February 2024 was the last time they managed 4 consecutive wins, Leon Osman.
Yeah, it's not been Manchester United I grew up sort of watching and then going on to play against, who quite regularly would get 4, 5, even 6 wins on the run. That's been tough for Manchester United as a fan base with the success that they have had, but you can only start building yourself back to the top again by starting to build those runs and getting the belief within your team. And they've done well in the first half. I think that they'll be pleased that they've edged their way ahead. They've got some players that are playing full of confidence at the moment, and you mentioned their record of going ahead this season. Haven't got to this stage. I think they'll hope to carry on and see this game through.
There's been another goal at Stoke City in the Championship, Pat Murphy.
Another one to Stoke. Junior Chamadou, who's been absolutely outstanding. An irresistible run, powering his way through. Can't finish. Stoke 4, Bristol City 0.
Thank you, Pat. Another goal in the Championship. Charlton 1, Swansea City 0. As a cross comes in for Nottingham Forest from the right. De Ligt into the air it goes and headed behind by Amad Diallo. I think he got a little nudge in the back there from Gibbs-White that put him off. Didn't help his cause, but concedes the corner. Colchester United 2, MK Dons 1 is a latest score in the FA Cup. So, Nottingham Forest in their red shirts and white shorts, playing from right to left. In front of the Trent end, have a corner kick. This was on this near side where Manchester United got their goal from the corner. And it's Anderson to take it, and fisted away by Lamens, the Belgian goalkeeper, and then played all the way back by Williams. Let's get news then of that second goal for Burton from Adam Whitty.
It took them 58 seconds to score in the first half, 2 minutes to score in the second to perhaps put this game beyond non-league St Albans. Charlie Webster volleying in from the left. St Albans brave and valiant, but this too much, I'm afraid. Burton 2, St Albans 0. The cup set off. 49 minutes gone.
Ball spread out wide to that right-hand side. And Ndoye attacking for Nottingham Forest. Yates now right corner of the area. In comes the cross. Gibbs-White with a header. Nottingham Forest to level. Some Forest fans might not have been happy with his pre-match claim that Manchester United are better off when they're winning in the Premier League. They're not winning anymore. The Manchester United fan with a header has just brought Forest level. 1-1.
That's a great start to the second half from Nottingham Forest. Exactly what Sean Dyche would have asked for. And they've been unpredictable in the way they've gone to attack this Manchester United defence, but they've known exactly what they're trying to do. On 2 occasions, the ball only in the first 3 minutes of this second half has the ball gone out to that right hand side. They've had players in the penalty area, but they haven't crossed it. They've passed it back to the to the corner of the penalty area for Yates, and on both occasions he's just hung it up to the back post over the top of Amad, and it's been Gibbs-White against Amad on both occasions. The first time Amad just about gave a corner kick away. On the second time, Gibbs-White gets over the top of him with momentum, with accuracy, with power, and heads it brilliantly past Lowens into that far corner of the goal. Sean Dyche's reaction is brilliant. He wants more. He's expected his team to push forward now, and it's 1-1.
Super cross from Yates, and here is Gibbs White now. His first league goal of the season. His only other goal was a penalty against Porto. He runs to the edge of the area. His cross takes a deflection, and Doyle will try and retrieve it over on that far side, and does so as well. Keeps the ball in play. Savona back towards Yates. Yates plays it towards the right touchline. Forrest now with another cross. Takes a deflection, loops in the air. Could be an opportunity for Savona. Incredible turnaround at the City ground. Two rapid-fire goals from Nottingham Forest. They've come from behind to hold the Manchester United revival. And the right-back pounces from close range. 2-1 Forest.
And that is the art of using momentum. It's brilliant from Nottingham Forest. The crowd are up, the team are up. They've just scored the equaliser in the game. What do? Do they play around on the halfway line? Do they play passes? Do they enjoy the fact that they're back in the game? Or do they ask more questions of Manchester United? Well, it's the latter. They get the ball forward. There's a bit of a ricochet. They get it knocked down. They feed it wide. They take a touch and they just put it right back into the Manchester United penalty area and get bodies in there. Yes, it takes a deflection to loop up right into the middle of the penalty area. Probably lands about 9 or 10 yards out, and Jesus is the one competing. He's competing against De Ligt and Yoro, but there's no pace on the ball, so no matter who makes contact, it's only going to fall within 2 yards of where they're competing. And the only person on the move in that moment was Savona. The right back followed his pass forward, gets forward as the ball bounces, he takes a touch and left foot into the corner.
And after a check from VAR and a minor delay, the goal stands and Forest lead Manchester United 2-1. QPR 1, Ipswich 2, Buxton 0, Chatham 1 in the FA Cup, Oldham 3, Northampton 0, and a goal elsewhere in the Premier League at Selhurst Park. Chris Coles.
A second for Crystal Palace, who now lead Brentford by 2-0. Long throw, Nathan Collins, the Brentford centre-back, heading into his own net. Crystal Palace 2, Brentford 0.
It's hectic and it's frenetic on 5 Live. Another goal, Charlie Slater at Watford.
Watford 3, Middlesbrough 0. This is brilliant from Mamadou Doumbia, 20 yards out, curling into the top corner of the net. 3-0.
Nottingham Forest are transformed, leading 2-1. They're on the attack again. Williams, left-hand side, plays the ball to Yates, just lays it off, and then Murillo just tries to nick a forward ball. That was cut out though by Mbeumo, but the tails are up here from Nottingham Forest, and the supporters are fully behind them. It's a buoyant City ground. Wimbledon 0. Gateshead 2 is the latest score in the FA Cup, so that's certainly one of the shocks. The side 15th in the National League against their League One outfit, and Macclesfield 4, AFC Tottenham 3. What has been a 7-goal thriller that has fluctuated throughout the afternoon. John Southall at Brighton.
Brighton 1, Leeds 0. Brighton looking for the second. Van Hecker 14 yards out, straight to the keeper. Perry then route to the defence, just backed off him 20 yards out. Side netting Ripple. Brighton have a corner. Brighton 1, Leeds 0.
Nottingham Forest now have got something to protect as Ahmad towards Bruno Fernandes, gives it back towards the right wing back on this near side. Down the right line it goes towards Mbeumo. Mbeumo keeps the ball in play, rolls it back down this right touchline. Bruno Fernandes running forward, just a little swish of the right hand, tried to get Dalot further forward on that left-hand side. Joining the attack is Shaw, nudges the ball out towards that left, but Dalot is being harried and chased and pursued by Ndoye. Casemiro though will step forward and runs into a little bit of space. Back with Bruno Fernandes, 30 yards out from goal, spreads it out towards the right, off the chest of Ahmad, sends over the cross, arriving in the far post, almost smuggled in by Casemiro, but I think there's a handball in there from the Brazilian, and that'll be a free kick to Nottingham Forest. 2-1.
Well, it's good reaction from Manchester United. First time they've really been able to get control of the ball, just try and calm this crowd, play the ball from side to side, win a couple of challenges, and in doing so things opened up for them. Good ball from Bruno Fernandes to the right hand side for Ahmad, just wide of the penalty area. One touch to control it, another touch to filter it in there, and they had bodies in there, and he'd be really disappointed, Casemiro, that he couldn't quite get something on that to head it towards goal, and ended up bouncing up and hitting him on the arm. That was a chance for United.
Crew 1, Doncaster 1 is the latest score in the Cup. Burton have got a third goal at home to St Albans City. Hearts lead Dundee, the leaders, have got a third goal at Tynecastle. Tranmere 0, Stockport County 1. Dave Challinor against his former side, and Sutton United 2, Telford 0 is another latest score in the FA Cup. Let's get news of that Charlton goal from Mike Williams.
Charlton 1, Swansea 0. Brilliant finish by Charlie Kelman on the byline. Angle was tight, but he killed it beyond Vigouroux in the Swansea goal and into the back of the net off the underside of the crossbar. Charlton 1, Swansea 0.
Nottingham Forest lead Manchester United by 2-1. Told you that Hearts had gone 3-0 up. Here's Gavin.
Andre Kabor this time. The shot originally saved, but the goalkeeper onto the post. It came back out to him, and he tapped home from 3 yards. Hearts 3, Dundee 0.
And that ball will run safely through towards Matt Sells. News of that other goal at Burton, Adam Whitty.
Game over, Burton 3, St Albans 0. Charlie Webster with his second in 10 minutes, a long-range effort driving at the St Albans backline. Burton have started the second half at a fast pace. They've seen off their non-league opponents and are set for the second round. Burton 3, St Albans 0, an hour gone.
If you want commentary on an FA Cup tie, Sports Extra 3, Cheltenham against Bradford City. As Manchester United are on the attack. And Dallow comes towards Mbeumo and hits it left-footed first time edge of the area. I think the Forest supporters are thinking that Dallow was in an offside position, and they are again berating the assistant referee who's patrolling this near touchline in front of the main stand here at the City Ground for not raising his flag. An update in the second test in the Rugby League. Sharon Shortall.
It's England 4, Australia 14, but Australia down to 12 men with Reece Walsh in the sin bin after Dom Young again going close for England. It's England 4, Australia 14. We've played 69 minutes.
Live on BBC 1 2. No, it's live on BBC 1 2. Here is Hudson Odoi. Hudson Odoi swings over the cross, and Undoy was trying to get on the end of it. Nottingham Forest all of a sudden look a threat, a real threat.
Well, in the first half they were getting the ball into decent places in wide areas. They never had people in the penalty area, and those wide players were always trying to cut inside and go for goals themselves. Every time they've got into those wide areas in this second half, which has been an aim of theirs quite obviously, they've then looked across the ball, deliver it, and more often than not towards the back post, over the top of Manchester United's far wing back, with players rushing in and bodies being in there. And they've asked a lot of questions of Dallow and Ahmad, and haven't always been up to it.
They're without Chris Wood. They're expecting him to be available for selection after the international break, so he'll miss, or it's likely he'll miss, the Leeds United game next weekend at home. As Forest corner kick far side the right, and it was Murillo who climbed, and his header about 8 yards was off target and out for a goal kick. Birmingham City have got a second goal at home to Portsmouth. That'll be just one win in 9 if it stays like that, with a defeat for Portsmouth on their travels. Hibs are leading at Livingston in the Scottish Premiership. Livingston 1, Hibs 2 is the latest score. You're up to date after Sports Report, where we'll bring you the results and the reaction. We've got commentary at 5:30. Tottenham against Chelsea, and then it's 6:06. At 7:30, 08085 909 693. And as far as Five Live's Premier League Sunday tomorrow is concerned, West Ham Newcastle, the commentary at 2, Manchester City Bournemouth at 4:30. On live on Sports Extra 2 now, we've got Burnley 0, Arsenal 2. And we've got 4 rounds of matches in the Champions League next midweek to tell you about, as Manchester United are attacking and the move breaks down. Cunha again willing to go to ground, and in fact Arsenal started all off on Tuesday evening with a 5:45 kick-off against Slavia Prague. We'll be live in the Czech Republic. Grimsby Town, who were trailing to Ebbsfleet United, National League South, but Danny Rose has equalised for David Artell's side. That's 1-1. MK Dons are level at Colchester in the Cup. Colchester 2, MK Dons 2, and Ipswich Town have got a third goal. QPR 1, Ipswich 3. They had been winless away from home in the Championship before today. 5 Live, we're approaching the hour mark. Nottingham Forest are leading Manchester United by 2-1. We'll try and bring you some live reaction from the tunnel before 5:30, and that commentary of Tottenham against Chelsea with John Murray and Rob Green, as Chesterfield are leading at Broadhall Way in the Cup. Stevenage 0, Chesterfield 1. Forest have got a free kick. Leon Osman.
Yeah, and again winning balls in the middle of the pitch, bouncing balls, good bit of play, Jesus. But Sean Dyche in the last 5 minutes or so has been barking orders at everybody he can. Just sometimes it's only to move their position 2 or 3 yards, but to make sure they're in a better position as far as he's concerned. Hudson Odoi in particular has been getting it because he's the closest to Sean Dyche, whether that be for his own positioning, which he thinks has been too far advanced. He wants him a little bit deeper and a little bit tucked in, or just to pass messages on. But Hudson Odoi's ears will be really sore at this stage in the game.
Whilst you've been talking, I've been doing some maths, and that goal for Nottingham Forest as they play a cute free kick down the line, and Doy makes the peeling run out towards the right, cleared by Manchester United, fired back in by Anderson, blocked by the black shirts, and now the break is on for United. And it is Cunha, and he's got Ahmad going ahead of him. In fact, Ahmad takes it away in possession now with the ball at his feet, but the red shirts were tracked back so quickly. There were 9 red shirts that were back in no time.
Oh, it was incredible. I mean, at one point United looked like they got a 2v2, and within, a heartbeat, there was only Jesus left up the pitch, only their striker. The other 9 men, 10 including the goalkeeper, were back behind the ball in a flash, and that's a brilliant attitude to have.
Here is Bruno Fernandes, 30 yards out from goal. He shoots low! He's hit the post. Rebound comes out to Casemiro, stabs it into the side netting. He's saying it should have been a corner. It was a right-footed effort, hit on the diagonal by Bruno Fernandes, sails at full stretch away towards his right and strikes the base of that right-hand post. Manchester United so close to getting it 2-2.
Well, that's his quality in a nutshell. I mean, there was nothing on, he just got the ball, probably 30 yards out from goal, looked up, not an awful lot on, so he just thought, I'll have a shot. And it's probably not even the crispest strike he's hit today. It probably bobbled a couple of times, but the accuracy and the power were incredible. He caught Sells out, full stretch to his right, couldn't get there, hits the inside of the post, bounces back into play. Casemiro quickest to react, but just couldn't quite direct it inside the goal frame.
I don't want my maths homework to go to waste, so that Gibbs-White header was the first goal that they've scored in the Premier League in 8 hours and 13 minutes, Nottingham Forest. Harrogate are level at Mansfield in the Cup 1-1. Grimsby have come from behind, now leading Ebbsfleet United by 2-1. Huddersfield have levelled. Bolton Wanderers 1, Huddersfield 1, and we'll go to Turf Moor and Julia Bold.
Still Burnley 0, Arsenal 2. Trossard's long-range effort has just been saved by a substitute at half-time. Goal scorer Eucharist came off. Mikel Merino is on. Scott Parker has just got no answers for his side at all. Burnley 0, Arsenal 2.
Derby County have got a third goal at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 0, Derby County 3. Commentary of that game that Julia watching is live on Sports Extra 2. We'll get the team news now from Tottenham. John Murray.
Well, both make a couple of changes from the Premier League teams last weekend. They're both strengthening their midfields. For Tottenham, Simons and Johnson are only subs. Sarr and Bergvall are the two to come in. Udogie and Romero are on the bench as well, by the way, for Tottenham. And Chelsea bring in Fofana and Gusto for Guiu and Achiampong. So Garnacho keeps his place in the league starting lineup.
Thank you, John. Rob Green will be alongside John for commentary of that after Sports Report here on 5 Live. Manchester United, who were leading by a goal to nil at half-time, now trail 2-1. There's 2 quick goals for Nottingham Forest, looking for their first win in the league since the opening day. Birmingham City have got a third goal at St Andrews. Birmingham 3, Portsmouth 0. And when I mentioned that Derby are 3-0 up, Carlton Morris has actually got a hat-trick with that penalty just past the hour mark. John Southall at the Amex.
Brighton 1, Leeds 0, a rare Leeds chance. Dominic Calvert-Lewin left of the area, shot wide of the right-hand post. You just sense Leeds might be stirring. Still a slender lead. Brighton 1, Leeds 0.
Thank you, John. Here is Ahmad. And to dance his way through the Forest defence, but Forest defending well. Gibbs-White unable to take it past Shaw, who went to ground. Back heel from Ahmad, running out towards that far side, the left, midway through the Forest half. Cunha comes inside one challenge, but Gibbs-White back there as well. Anderson goes into the challenge. He was caught there by Casemiro, and Casemiro is going to get given away a free kick. It won't necessarily go into the book, I don't think, from Darren England.
Oh, it doesn't look like. He just wants a word with Bruno Fernandes, who maybe has the right of captain to question the referee, but I don't think he was happy with how quickly he approached him to question the decision. Casemiro certainly went to ground on a challenge with Elliot Anderson. And the question from our angle whether he actually touched the ball. Casemiro certainly thought he did. Bruno Fernandes thought he did. Either way, Nottingham Forest have got a free kick and relieved the pressure.
That's Leon Osman, who is with us here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Buxton 1, Chatham Town 1 is the latest score in the FA Cup. In the Premier League, Brighton lead Leeds United by a goal to nil. The leaders Arsenal are 2-0 up at Burnley. Crystal Palace 2, Brentford 0, and Fulham lead Wolverhampton, still winless by a goal to nil, and Wolves are down to 10 men. So Nottingham Forest won't go out of the bottom 3, but these 3 points will certainly give them a lift ahead of the visit of Leeds United next weekend. Before that, though, they've got a trip to Austria. Sturm Graz away on Thursday in the Europa League. And Ruben Amorim, just when he thought that things were starting to settle down, just halts that revival a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, he probably can't believe how quickly this game turned around. I think he'll be, as I said, I think he'd have been pleased with the first half performance, and come out within a couple of moments. His team have not only conceded one, they conceded two, and he'll be frustrated with the manner at which the second goal came so quickly on the heels of the first.
Nottingham Forest attacking on the right. Savona. Ball played out towards Ndoye. Back it goes then to Yates. Stroke back to Milinkovic. Anderson has dropped in between the two central defenders. He's forward of the centre circle. Passes the ball along the ground towards Hudson-Odoi on this near side, the left, in front of the main stand. Goes on the outside of Ahmad. Delivers the cross. It's a hanging one towards the far post. And the downward header is just wide. A number of the supporters in front of us actually thought that Igor Jesus had actually gone inside. But it hadn't, and it's wide for a goal kick. And Forest still lead Manchester United 2-1 as we go to John Southall, where there's been a goal.
Brighton have their second, Brighton 2, Leeds 0. Again, it came from the right-hand side. The ball was crossed over, and there was Diego Gomez from about 6 yards out to tap it in. Brighton 2, Leeds 0.
Another goal in the Premier League. Will Perry at Fulham.
Fulham 2, 10-man Wolves 0. It's Harry Wilson. It was Sander Berger originally with the shot, and Wilson with the rebound curled it into the bottom left corner. Fulham 2, 10-man Wolves 0.
In the Championship, QPR 1, Ipswich Town 4, Sutton United 2, Telford United 1 in the FA Cup. And there has been a goal at the Valley in the Championship. Mike Williams.
Swansea are back level, Charlton 1, Swansea 1, and it's an absolute superb long-range shot from Adam Ide. He's looked lonely at times, leading the line on his own for Swansea. No doubt about this one as it sailed past the Charlton keeper, Thomas Kaminski. All square, Charlton 1, Swansea 1.
Manchester United are attacking, trailing by 2-1 here on 5 Live in the World Service. Ball played back to Fernandes, chips the ball in towards the penalty area. It was floated away from Sesko and cleared by the Forest defence. Wycombe Wanderers lead Plymouth by 1-0 in the FA Cup. Leon Osman.
Some of Bruno Fernandes' passing has been ridiculous in the game, but certainly in the second half. Left foot, right foot, 50 yards, 20 yards, 60 yards, thread in the eye of the needle. I just think to do that from as deep as he plays for Manchester United is one thing, but if you can get him doing that another 10 yards, 15 yards further up the pitch, I think that's when you really create opportunities.
Altrincham have got a goal back at Slough Town. Slough Town 2, Altrincham 1. Bolton Wanderers are back in front at home to Huddersfield, also in the Cup. They now lead by 2-1. Manchester United are trailing by that scoreline, but they're attacking on this near side. But Mbeumo is held up by Williams, who goes in pursuit of the ball and applauded by his manager, Sean Dyche. Another goal at Stoke City. Pat Murphy.
5-0 Stoke City, and Mubama has a hat-trick at the end of an intricate passing display. They're irresistible this afternoon, Stoke. Stoke 5, Bristol City 0.
A rout as now here is Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi shot on the run, just wide. Nottingham Forest in this second half are creating chances, and Manchester United, well, they were so close to almost falling 3-1 down there.
On only one occasion did Manchester United leave themselves exposed in the middle of the pitch in the first half, and it was Hudson-Odoi who went in there, and he's found a way in there again. Good pass from Elliot Anderson. Hudson-Odoi just charging through the middle. It's Ryan Mbeumo who's trying to get back from his position on the right to just try and put a bit of pressure on him before he takes the shot from about 23, 24 yards out, just pulls it past the post. But it was him again, Ndoye, who's looked bright in this second half, who got the ball out here probably a couple of minutes ago, one-on-one with Ahmad, and I expected to see this a bit more, getting one-on-one with Ahmad, dropping the shoulder, getting to the byline, putting a cross in, and it was Igor Jesus who went up above everybody and ended up hitting the goal frame before it went out for a goal kick for Manchester United. So at the moment, United need a goal. It's Forest still asking the questions.
Goal at Oxford United, Molly Stevens.
Well, Millwall have taken the lead. The initial shot was saved by Jamie Cumming in the Oxford goal, but then Jake Cooper, on his 400th appearance in a Millwall shirt, he was there for the rebound. It's Oxford 1, Millwall 2.
Hemel Hempstead Town, 4th in National League South, and some 63 places below Wigan Athletic have equalised at Wigan in the Cup. Wigan 1, Hemel Hempstead Town 1. Kilmarnock have got a goal at Falkirk, but Falkirk lead by 3 goals to 1. And in fact, Wigan are down to 10 men. Matt Smith has been sent off. Reading lead Carlisle United 2-0. And you're up to date as we go to the Rugby League and Sharon Shortle.
And it's finished England 4, Australia 14, meaning Australia will retain the Ashes. 2 quick tries in the second half were the only tries of the game from Australia. The rest of the points coming from penalties. A good effort though this afternoon from England. They do deserve some credit. England 4, Australia 14.
20 minutes remain here at the City Ground. Forest are 2-1 up. They're playing some good football. Yates out towards that far side. This is Ndoye running forward. Savona has gone on the overlap. Ndoye comes in field, slows it down. Yates passes the ball out towards the right back, level with the area. His first touch takes him away from the penalty box, but then the ball is passed back out towards the right. Then comes the cross, blocked behind for a corner kick. Manchester United are on the back foot.
Yeah, Forest have figured out how to get at a back five. What you do is you keep your full-backs wide, you get them out into those areas, you try and expose the opposition wing-backs where you're strong. So as you've seen them or heard the name Savona quite often in the second half, he's been getting up in support of Ndoye on that right-hand side. They've tried to double up, firstly on Dallow and now on the left, at the left-back area, where they've done really well. Nottingham Forest, they've continued to push Manchester United back. 20
minutes remain. Nottingham Forest are 2-1 up. In comes the corner on that far side, headed up in the air off the head of Cunha. Murillo tries to knock it back into the box, header out by Shaw. Break is on for Manchester United, but again the red shirts, that was Anderson who took the corner kick, running back, one of the first to get back towards the halfway line. Really good energy levels from some of the Nottingham Forest players off the ball.
Yeah, well, Sean Dyche has come out and criticised the fitness levels of this Nottingham Forest team. That's not what we're seeing.
Williams now steps forward with the interception to get there before Ahmad, in towards Yates. Yates passes the ball to Hudson-Odoi. It's a short pass, left-hand side of the penalty area. He dances around it without touching the ball. Now plays it out towards Anderson, gets it out from underneath his feet, can't get the shot away. Instead it's out towards Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White standing still, a little bit like a boxer who's in control, who just knows he's just waiting, he's confident, and all of a sudden there is that confidence now returning to some of these Nottingham Forest players as there's a dart forward by Gibbs-White, and he sees a gap and runs into it and lifts the ball in towards the penalty area, and Ndoye with his back to goal can't turn, tries to pull it back towards Gibbs-White, and there was Cunha to get the ball away, but Nottingham Forest is still attacking. And it's Hudson-Odoi, slows it down, delivers a cross, it's swirling, and it goes out of play for a goal kick. Forest lead 2-1, another goal at Brighton. John Southall.
Game over, Brighton 3, Leeds 0. Rooster on the left-hand side, played it across to Gomez. There he was again with his second of the game, and Leeds' misery here continues. Brighton 3, Leeds 0.
Macclesfield 5, AFC Tottenham 3 in the FA Cup. Mansfield in the Cup now lead Harrogate Town by 2 goals to 1, and at Prenton Park, Tranmere Rovers have equalised. Tranmere 1, Stockport County 1. Swindon have just equalised at Rotherham in the Cup. Rotherham 1, Swindon Town 1. And Grimsby now lead Ebbsfleet United by 3 goals to 1. Sheffield United have got a goal back in the Championship at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 1, Derby County 3, and we're up to date with the goals as they go in here on 5 Live as we go to Sarah Orchard at the Rugby Union.
58 minutes played, still England 10, Australia 7. No score yet in the second half, but Steve Borthwick has deployed his bomb squad of bringing 5 players on from the forwards in one go. England 10, Australia 7.
This is where the Forest supporters are now proving their worth with some vocal encouragement as we enter the last 17 minutes of normal time. Manchester United, Yoro bringing the ball out of defence, slips it into the path of Ahmed, makes that run right hand side of the penalty area, attacking the Bridgeford stand for those of you who know the City ground. But Williams, the left back, is there, and then very, very composed, the clearance there from Murillo. Sean Dyche desperately trying to get those red shirts not to sit too deep. A goal at Spennymoor in the Cup, Nathan Alban.
Spennymoor 0, Barrow 2, beautiful sky, but the sun's setting on Spennymoor's FA Cup run. Cross to the back post, Ben Whitfield taps it back across for Kane Hemmings, his first Barrow goal. Spennymoor 0, Barrow 2.
Another goal in the Cubs at Boreham Wood, Nick Eshragani.
Where Boreham Wood, the National League side, have surely put this one to bed against League 2 Crawley. 3-0 up now. Abdul Malik with a lovely curling effort from the edge of the area. Boreham Wood 3, Crawley Town 0.
from memory, the shock could be happening at Wimbledon, where Gateshead are ahead, but we'll go through all the latest scores for you very, very soon. As Ahmed on the right-hand side pulls it back edge of the area. Cunha lets it travel all the way through to Casemiro, who shoots, blocks, comes out back towards Cunha, gives it out to his left, to Casemiro. Gives it again to Bruno Fernandes. He turns, has a shot blocked. Red shirts back aplenty. And Doy caught in possession by Shaw, high up the pitch. Down it goes towards Dorgu, who's a substitute for Dalot earlier on. Headed away then by Murillo, edge of the area. Comes back towards Cunha, tries to get the shot. Just threw himself in front of that was Hudson-Odoi. Great block challenge coming in. Tranmere 1, Stockport County 2. We're up to date with the goals as they go in. As now Dorgu with a cross, gathered in safely by Sells. What a game this is.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, it's much better tempo from Manchester United as they go in search of the equalising goal. They are defending a little bit now. They are attacking a little bit narrow, and just giving this Nottingham Forest team a great chance to defend it. Forest are working to a man. They're getting so many bodies around the ball, working really hard. There are blocks, there are physical moments, there are pushes, there are clearances, goalkeepers making saves. Yeah, we've got a really good game in our hands.
Awoniyi's going to be coming on for Igor Jesus, who's still without a goal in the Premier League. Some fresh legs to run forward for Nottingham Forest, and whilst that substitution takes place, I'm hearing of a try in the rugby. Sarah.
It's England 15, Australia 7, 60 minutes played, and it's 20-year-old Henry Pollock playing for the first time at Twickenham on only his second England cap, who goes over for his third England try. What a future this young man has. England 15, Australia 7.
Commentary of that is live on Sports Extra. Bromley 0, Bristol Rovers 1 is the latest score in the FA Cup. There's a Forest player down on the far side. I'm going to take advantage of this now to rattle through as many of the latest scores as we possibly can. In the Scottish Premiership, Falkirk lead Kilmarnock by 3-1. Hearts lead Dundee 3-0. They'll be going 9 points clear of Celtic. Livingston 1, Hibs 2. So Livy will remain bottom of the SPL. Right, here we go. The result earlier in the FA Cup was Chelmsford 4, Braintree 1. These are the latest scores, and this is where the shock could be. Wimbledon 0, Gateshead 15th in the National League 2. Barnsley 1, York 1. Blackpool leads Scunthorpe United by 1-0. Bolton 2, Huddersfield 1. Borehamwood 3, Crawley 0. Crawley are down to 10 men. Bromley 0, Bristol Rovers 1. Burton leads St Albans City by 3-0. Buxton 1, Chatham 1. Cambridge United 3, Chester 0. Cheltenham 1, Bradford City 0. That's live. Sports Extra 3. Colchester 2, MK Dons 2, Crewe 1, Doncaster 1, Halifax 0, Exeter City 2. Fleetwood lead Barnet by 1-0. Grimsby were behind to Ebbsfleet United, who are down to 10 men, but Grimsby have since turned it around, and at Blundell Park they lead 3-1. Macclesfield 5, AFC Tottenham 3. Mansfield 2, Harrogate Town 1, Newport 1, Gillingham 1, Oldham 3, Northampton 0, Peterborough 1, Cardiff 0, Reading 2, Carlisle 0, Rotherham 1, Swindon 1, Salford 0, Lincoln City 1, Slough lead Altrincham 2-1, Spennymoor 0, Barrow 2, Stevenage 0, Chesterfield 1, Sutton United are leading Telford by 2-1, Tranmere 1, Stockport County 2, the 10 men of Southend are behind at Wealdstone by 1-0, Weston-super-Mare 0, Aldershot 1, Wigan 1, Hemel Hempstead Town 1, 4th in National League South. Wickham lead Plymouth by 1-0. Leon,
have you finished? I mean, yeah, we're just seeing a couple of substitutions. The game's not really got going yet. Manchester United have just brought on Mazraoui for Yoro. Ruben Amorim's obviously got a reason for doing it, but they need a goal. They're in search. There's 13 minutes left, and it's very like for like in the changes. Dorgu replaced Dalot before Mazraoui's replaced Yoro. There's no thought of bringing on a Mount or a Xerxes, Ugarte even, who's someone who plays a bit more advanced, doing something different, getting at this Nottingham Forest team, maybe having to leave yourself slightly exposed in your search for the equalising goal. It's still very much the same with those substitutions.
Hearts have got a 4th goal at home to Dundee, and Burton leads St Albans City, also 4-0 in the Cup. This is the City Ground. We're live on 5 Live in the World Service on a busy Saturday afternoon. Barnsley 2, York City 1, Wickham 2, Plymouth 0 is a latest score in the Cup as well. 12 minutes remaining. Manchester United now with Mazraoui, the substitute for Yoro, up towards Mbumo. Challenge comes in from Murillo, follows him all the way and continues to follow him. There's actually Mbumo's caught there, I think. He's just hobbling a little bit off the field of play at the moment. Let's go to Gavin Wallace at Tynecastle.
Dundee don't clear from the goal. It's 4-0 as you say, Ian, to Hearts. The Karasidis with a great corner into the corridor of doubt, kind of bundled in and bundled away, and Thomas Magnuson on the park. 2 minutes is there to score. Hearts 4, Dundee 0.
Going to be some nervous and anxious Nottingham Forest supporters sitting around us here at the City Ground. They've gone 8 games in the Premier League without a win since they beat Brentford by 3-1. They've only picked up 2 points out of a possible 24 during that period. Bromley 0, Bristol Rovers 2. But here's Sean Dyche. He sees his side lead by 2-1. But Mbumo now for Manchester United. Short ball out towards the right-hand side. Ahmed. Back now with Mbumo. Infield towards Matsraoui. Cross comes in from Casemiro. Cleared on the volley. Away by Yates, dropping back there. Awonyi holds it up. Plays it now out towards Anderson. Streaking away over on that far side was Ndoye, but they weren't able to get it out towards the right. But now they do. And Savona, this tall and lean, versatile Italian international defender, runs forward, and then the ball is played back and they just slow it down. Forest still leading 2-1.
Yeah, they won't mind slowing it down now, Nottingham Forest, just to try and get a few passes, just to make sure they're not defend with the ball. But that was an opportunity on the counter-attack. If Anderson could have just picked his head up, and Ndoye was clear on the opposite side of the field. Dorgu was in no way going to recover. He just would have picked his head up, would have played him in, he'd have been through on goal. But they'll be quite content with keeping the ball for long stages in this as we try and see the game out.
Looking bleak for Wolves. They could be 8 points away from safety. They're at Fulham. Will Perry.
They will be. Fulham 3, 10-man Wolves 0. This one is done and dusted. Cross from the left-hand side from Sessegnon. Smith Rowe got a touch only onto the path of Mosquera, who turned the ball past his own keeper, Sam Johnston. Fulham 3, 10-man Wolves 0.
So 3-0 there. Crystal Palace 2, Brentford 0, Burnley 0, Arsenal 2, Brighton and Hove Albion 3, Leeds United 0, and Manchester United trailing here still by 2-1, although the away side do have a corner kick on this near side, the right. They're attacking the Bridgeford stand, where half of that bottom tier is housed, the away supporters who've travelled across to the East Midlands for this game here today with 9 minutes remaining. Corner kick. Mbumo to take it, left-footed, delivered deep towards the far post. Casemiro was there, headed away by Milinkovic, edge of the area, fired back in, and fired with a plumb. Amad Diallo, great technique on the volley, left-footed, nothing that Sells could do about that. That was an absolute peach. 2-2.
Wow, what a hit. Take a bow, Amad Diallo. In the first half, Manchester United had corner kicks, and Amad Diallo was back on the halfway line in case of breaks, and I wondered what he was doing all the way back there. But on this occasion, since Mazraoui has joined the pitch, Amad goes onto the edge of the penalty area alongside Bruno Fernandes. The ball from Mbumo is to the far post. It's headed back across. There's a bit of a ricochet. It's half cleared inside the D on the penalty area. Amad takes 2 steps to his left as it's looping out the sky, keeps his eye on it, and just calmly, with no panic, just swings his left foot out, so controlled in his manner of striking the ball, catches it on the volley. It's nothing Sells can do as he dives to the right, hits the back of the net. What a finish.
Hold on, VAR check. They're checking for a possible handball. This might not still stand. But in the meantime, there has been another goal at Stoke for Pat Murphy.
It's for Bristol City this time. In swinging corner, Mark Sykes up flicked header. Stoke 5, Bristol City 1.
Burton 5, St Albans City 0 in the FA Cup. I haven't had a chance to see it again, Leon.
No, we haven't seen it again, and unless it is really deliberate, and I think what we've seen in the Premier League this season.
They're now checking for a possible offside. The goal stands.
I was going to say, if it was handball, for what we've seen this season, accidental handballs that don't lead directly to a goal wouldn't be given. Certainly offsides as well. That must have been, we've not even seen a replay, have we? But that must have been in terms of maybe being in front of the goalkeeper as the shot came in. But I'm glad it stood. I mean, what a wonderful goal we've just seen.
You know, your description of the goal there, we had some correspondence on the Commentators View podcast that you can download on the Football Daily feed, and the correspondence came in from Tokyo, full of praise for your accurate descriptions of when goals are scored.
Just when goals are scored, though.
You're big in Japan.
Oh, thank you very much. No, it's a pleasure to actually describe goals like that. I mean, what a wonderful finish, and the position he took up, the way he watched it onto his foot, the strike, exactly what Manchester United needed.
Manchester United now are thinking of a potential winner. How long have we got left? 7 minutes remaining. Bromley 1, Bristol Rovers 2. Altrincham are now down to 10 men. Elliot Osborne has been sent off as Altrincham were 2-1 down away to Slough. Harrogate Town have equalised at Field Mill, so Mansfield 2, Harrogate 2, and there are no other goals to tell you about elsewhere. We haven't done the Championship though, so the results in the Championship earlier: Leicester 0, Blackburn 2, Norwich City 0, Hull City 2. Lost all 7 at home and 6 successive defeats now for Norwich. And West Brom 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. I'll give you the latest scores after this latest Forest attack. Here is Gibbs-White, turns, tries to peel away on the edge of the area, falls to Williams, shot comes in, deflected behind for a corner kick. Latest scores in the Championship to come. This is a pulsating game.
Well, neither team's given up on the victory. I'm going to say it's been a brilliant game. It's swung to and fro at each stage. Even now, both teams still think they can win it. Both teams could also potentially lose it. I mean, it's been a very competitive game. There have been moments of real quality within it. You can see the desire and hunger that both sets of squads have got at the moment.
In fact, there's a Forest player down, which is Hudson-Odoi. He's hobbling in the centre circle, so this corner kick might not just be taken just as yet. So Birmingham 3, Portsmouth 0, Charlton 1, Swansea 1, Oxford 1, Millwall 2. That could be a 5th straight win for Millwall. QPR 1, Ipswich 4, Sheffield United 1, Derby 3, Southampton 0, Preston North End 1. That would be 1 win in 12 in the Championship for Southampton. Stoke 5, Bristol City 1, and Watford lead Middlesbrough by 3 goals to 0. That would be 4 successive wins at Vicarage Road for Watford. 5 Live in the World Service here at the City Ground. 2-2. Corner kick for Forest near side the left. Crowded penalty area. Sesko climbs to head the ball away. Picked up on that far side, the right, down towards the corner flag by Ndoi. And he's quite happy to let that ball run out of play for a corner kick to Nottingham Forest. Macclesfield 6, AFC Tottenham 3, Mansfield 3, Harrogate 2, and Jack Grimmer has been sent off for Wickham as they are leading 2-0 at home to Plymouth, also in the FA Cup first round. 4.5 minutes remaining for what has felt like a really breathless afternoon of action here on 5 Live. Corner kick far side the right. The red shirts wait for its delivery, and it comes now for Nottingham Forest. Headed up by Milenkovic and gets too much underneath it, and it drops well wide. Brighton Hove Albion, John Southall.
That's in 3, Leeds 0. Could have been 4 though. Ayari 14 yards up. Brilliant save by Perry. Going the wrong way, took a deflection, still saved it. Brighton 3, Leeds 0.
Manchester United, who are one of just 3 sides to have a 100% winning record in the month of October. Arsenal and Villa the other 2. Forest, meanwhile, well, they didn't do at all well. One of 4 clubs who failed to pick up a point during October, but here we are on the 1st of November, and it might still be a precious point for them, although they did dream of 3. However, Manchester United might have other ideas about that. Bruno Fernandes, forward ball, this is Cunha. Cunha shoots low and saved by Sells in a central area of his 6-yard box.
Yeah, good sharp play again from Manchester United, and Burmo in particular down this right-hand side, plays it narrow to, as I mentioned, a deep Bruno Fernandes, who in those positions can just see a picture that other people can't. First time round the corner into Cunha, who was probably about 2 or 3 yards behind the midfield, in front of those 2 centre-halves from Nottingham Forest. One touch to get it out of his feet, another touch was his second to hit the ball goalwards, and it was a comfortable save in the end for Sells, but only because it was right at him.
That's the voice of Leon Osman, the former England international, with us here on 5 Live. Colchester United 2, MK Dons 3. It's 2-2 with under 3 minutes remaining. Matsraoui for Manchester United midway through his own half. Ahmad, early ball up towards Sesko, downward header, interception from Anderson, who passes the ball out wide towards Ndoi. Ndoi tries to wriggle away from Dorgu, but Dorgu was strong in the challenge and won the ball in the tackle. But now with Bruno Fernandes to run forward. He is left of the centre circle. A rather theatrical fall from Cunha. Manchester United, though, have still got the ball in their possession. Cunha just turns away sharply from Anderson, runs forward now with purpose, enters the penalty area. Sesko is forced out wide, and in the end his left-footed shot from the angle is going to go for a goal kick. They thought it should have been a corner.
Furious, but what a turn in the middle of the pitch by Cunha. And Sesko made a decent run, but when that ball came into him, as he ran just inside the penalty area, he needed to hit it first time. Yes, it was coming at him quickly, and yes, the angle was against him, but once he took that touch, he was never going to be able to get that goal, which we are seeing a replay as he's tried to dink it into the middle. It did take a deflection. It should have been a corner kick, but I don't think they can complain about corner kicks not going their way.
No, they can't. Not after what happened in the first half when Nottingham Forest, the ball shouldn't have been a corner kick, and from the resulting corner, Manchester United got their first goal. Barnsley 2, York City 2, Birmingham 4, Portsmouth 0. And there's been a try in the Rugby Union, Sarah Orchard.
It's an England try, 3 for the afternoon. Alex Mitchell, scrum half, he goes over in the corner. It came off the back of a driving maul from a line out. England looking comfortable now on 73 minutes. England 20, Australia 7.
Anderson's just had a shot wide behind for a corner kick. That's live on Sports Extra at the rugby. Sangari's going to come on for Hudson-Odoi. We've got 60 seconds remaining of normal time. It's still 2-2.
Well, that should have been a goal kick. Mazraoui got caught in possession. Hudson-Odoi ran at, tried to run it out, and Elliot Anderson ended up with the final shot inside the penalty area. And as he's had a shot from the ricochet from the Hudson-Odoi shot, fall to Anderson. It hits Ndoi. It hits Ndoi on its way goalwards, who was in an offside position, and it ricocheted out. It should have been offside or a goal kick, but Forest have got a corner.
Imagine if Forest were to score then, given what happened for what we just said in the first half. Anderson to take it, in it goes, crowded 6-yard box, cleared away by Manchester United. Oldham 3, Northampton 1. Northampton have a consolation. Fleetwood 2, Barnet 0. Also in the Cup, and Weston-super-Mare have got an equaliser at home to Aldershot, 1-1. Ball goes long, Awoniyi gives chase in towards the penalty area, keeps the ball in play, did ever so well, plays it back. This is Ndoi now, right corner of the area. 5 minutes of added time, which we're now into here at the City Ground on 5 Live and the World Service, and also available on the BBC Sounds app. Gibbs White plays the ball back. Nottingham Forest have the ball. This now is with Savona forward. Anderson wants to get it, gets it to his feet, and then hits it with pace and overhit it really, and Hudson-Odoi had no chance of keeping that ball around head high because it whistled past him and out for a throw.
Yeah, trying to make something happen, Elliot Anderson. One of the few occasions it's not worked for him. He's been very good again. Started the season brilliantly, himself into the England team. He's continued that form today. He's been dominant. He's been full of energy. His quality of his pass and his vision have all been right up there today, but on that occasion he just made a mistake.
Tranmere 1, Stockport County 3 is the latest score in the FA Cup. We're into the first of the 5 minutes of added time. Brighton and Hove Albion are 3-0 up against Leeds United. The leaders Arsenal are 2-0 at Burnley. Crystal Palace 2, Brentford 0, Fulham 3, Wolves 0. It's 2-2 here at the City Ground. Is there time for a late winner? Sangari still waits to come on, with Bobby Madley, the fourth official, poised, holding the electronic board in his left hand as Williams goes down the line with a throw. Mazraoui heads it away. Williams puts his head bravely to the feet of Mbumo. Cleared downfield by Bruno Fernandes. Bouncing ball that Milenkovic has to measure the header and does so. Well timed. Barnet have got a goal back at Fleetwood. Fleetwood 2, Barnet 1. Another try in the rugby, Sarah Orchard.
England 25, Australia 7, 76 minutes played. It's Luke Cowan-Dickey, the cell hooker, on the occasion his 50th cap that goes over. England now closing in on victory. England 25, Australia 7.
It's going to be a busy sports report, and then we've got Tottenham-Chelsea to come at 5:30, followed by 6:06. Here comes the change. Hudson-Odoi making way for Ibrahim Sangari. The Forest players, there will be so many positives, I would imagine, for Sean Dykes to take from this performance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the reaction after half-time to get back into the game, we'll even go ahead of that moment, the speed at which they did it, the competitiveness. I mean, I don't think you can actually talk about their fitness.
And Mbumo, infield to Cunha. Cunha shifts it then to Bruno Fernandes. Shaw has made a darting run forward. It goes out wide towards Dorgu. We're in stoppage time, 2.5 minutes of the 5 played. Here is Casemiro. Casemiro with a shot, takes a wicked deflection and goes and loops over the crossbar. And Selves was already committed. That could have literally gone anywhere.
Yeah, Selves dived early, didn't he? He left his feet, went to ground, and once Casemiro, I think he scuffs it a little, Casemiro. I don't think it's the cleanest of strikes, but once it takes the deflection off Murillo, bounces down centrally and just loops up over the top of the crossbar. Selves would have been holding his breath momentarily. I'll be pleased it didn't go in.
Corner kick for Manchester United, 2-2. We're in stoppage time. Only 2 minutes of that stoppage time remains. Manchester United waiting to take the corner kick. There's the referee's whistle. It's taken short. Ahmad then delivers it deep towards the far post. De Ligt heads it, looping. Sells didn't get something on it. Ahmad fires it in. Goal line clearance. How did that not go in? There was 2 Forest players, a combination of Murillo and Williams, who both were able to get that ball away as it fired back in by Ahmad.
Oh, clever corner kick, and played it short as everybody was in the middle. Oh, just seeing it back again, what a clearance. So United played it short to Ahmad, who loops it to the far post. De Ligt wins the header, heads it right back across the penalty area, ends up coming out to the far side again to Ahmad, who's on his way in, and he's running onto it, off balance slightly, hits it hard and low with his left foot, goes past bodies, looks like it's going to go in at the far post, but Murillo recovering back onto his goal line on his right foot, I think it was, managed to get back and scoop it clear to keep the scoreline level.
That was the goal that was actually dismantled and then rebuilt ahead of the game due to realignment of the goal line technology.
Are you questioning whether it worked?
No, it thankfully wasn't required from a Forest point of view, thanks to Murillo. But 2-2. It was close, however. And Awoni's turned and played the ball forward. It went straight towards Mazraoui. Crewe 1, Doncaster Rovers 2, an injury time goal for Owen Bailey. Reading 2, Carlisle United 1. Carlisle have a goal back in the FA Cup, and Barnsley have got an injury time goal as they now lead York City by 3-2. Livingston 2, Hibs 2 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership. Bottom of the table, Livy with an injury time equaliser. Burton Albion 6, St Albans 0. Full time at Selhurst Park, Chris Coles.
Crystal Palace 2, Brentford 0. All very comfortable for Palace. Mateta's first half header and a Collins own goal. Crystal Palace 2, Brentford 0.
And we have about 15 seconds remaining for what has been a thoroughly entertaining game.
Yeah, absolutely terrific. A great testament to the Premier League and what it's all about. A team at the bottom of the Premier League against a team that's up at the top at the moment. Two teams very competitive, and it's ended up draw.
There is the full-time whistle. Manchester United controversially took the lead in the first half through a Casemiro header from a corner that shouldn't have been a corner. However, it was Gibbs-White and Savona early in the second half who put Forest ahead. They had further chances to increase their lead, and then a stunning equaliser from Ahmad 9 minutes from the end. Leon Osman.
Yeah, brilliant game of football. Both teams will feel probably a little disappointed that they haven't gone on to win the game, but at the same time will probably be pleased that they've come away from here with a point. It could have gone either way at any point, and that's what made it such a good game. Some moments, some quality, some brilliant goals, great reaction. The crowd involvement was very good as well, really made for the atmosphere, and yeah, terrific game of football, and probably on the swing of things deserved to end up at a draw.
Don't go anywhere, we're going to try and bring you as much live reaction from the tunnel as we can before our next commentary, Tottenham-Chelsea at 5:30. But here on 5 Live, it is finished Nottingham Forest 2, Manchester United 2.